Man. It's about goddamn time that I got you guys over here. Aren't you guys happy that I coerced you guys into just staying up all night like real men?
Yeah,
totally.
You finally got me. I don't usually do that.
I'm glad we're doing this.
You can't, you just can't be punani all your life, dude.
That's a fact.
I don't know if I'm ready to not be a punani.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, you guys like all your little gizmos and your guys' drug school and shit like that. Like, dude, you could just stay up for like 4 days straight and taste colors and hear smells, bro.
I still think I want to try that. I'm gonna be honest.
You need a partner. You need someone that's down. I know. Listen, I don't think your brother's down though.
No, I'm not staying up for.
And I don't got the time to stay up for like 4 days.
In bed by 10.
Maybe on vacation we could try to stay up as long as we can as a unit. Maybe when school's over with,
I'll definitely do
we
that.
could just try to stay up forever.
Like, give it a shot.
We'll your parents are like, fucking, we're upstairs freaking out. They're
like,
screaming and shit and loud noises.
What the fuck is going on in there?
Shit's breaking. Mom! But this is the Keep It a G Real podcast. We're here. We're going to talk a little bit, real briefly, about the fight that's actually today. Because we're doing like almost like an all-night podcast. Griffin and I just got out of work. I have my boy Griffin Hunt for the first time on. It's been a long time. I've been trying to get him on forever.
Been a long time coming.
Been a long time. Fuck, you got a tight hammy, huh?
Fucking tight hammy.
Fucking tight hammy. And that is brother Ethan Hunt.
Yep.
AKA the young buck on the block. New to the Allied Universal crew.
New blood.
New blood. Gang. Dude over there at UPS. How is it over there, dude? What is your first like inklings into the job now that you're over there? Does it suck? You probably wish you were hanging out with us.
I mean, it's different. Now that I got done with the 2 early shifts, though, I wish I was on for the first shift, because those fucking guys are cool to hang out with.
They probably don't do much on the first shift, do they?
No, they don't.
Oh, so it's kind of like 2 other guys we know, huh?
Yeah, like
a
couple of fellas we might know work with.
A couple of fucking crazy loopy conservatives we work with, huh? Andy
Yep.
J and D's. The D's is still. This is going to be what? The 26th or the 27th episode, some shit like that. Nate's still not come on the
made
podcast.
no appearance.
Yeah. Talked all that ish, so he's going to come on. I got to have him on. I got to drop beats for him.
I'm on before the D's.
Yeah, dude, the D's got to come on here and let all these dudes know. I'm telling you, the minute D's comes on the podcast, we drop beats for him, he starts spitting bars, famous.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
You're gonna owe.
He's reluctant to be famous.
You're gonna owe the Bortolini lots of royalties once he
Yeah, it's
makes this
cool,
thing
but
famous.
he needs to come on here and just start spitting bars like a car.
That'd be sweet. You just fucking watch
Dude,
the
Diesel
podcast
spits
and
fire.
we start spitting bars on there.
Throwback, drop a couple inserts from the Sarge.
Yeah, dude, sample the Sarge over the top of his lyrics, dude.
Yep.
R.I.P. to the big homie. God, it's been how long since the Sarge passed away? I don't even know, like 2 or 3 years at this point. Dude, it was so crazy. Did I tell you when I found out that John died? He called me. I got a call, right, from fucking a hospital out in Portland, Oregon. And they're like, we have a John Simmer would like to talk to you. He put you down as his nephew and all this stuff and said that you were the only one that was allowed to contact him. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow,
I go, yeah. I go, put me on the phone, right? And I talked to him. He just obviously didn't sound good. He told me he had a heart attack and all these other things. And like, and he said, they said he looked like he was going to be fine. And he goes, I feel all right. I'm just a little tired and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'll be out of here in the gym. And one thing, it's one of the only things that I regret in life is some of the things I said to him when I was on the phone, like with him. Like, I didn't say anything bad, but his health was so bad at the time that he needed to constantly be like, go to the doctors and like be checked out every now and then. And he had to take specific medicines for his blood and all these other things. And I knew that. I was like, dude. So I basically when I was on the phone with him, like, basically was like, dude, why did you take off? You know, I'm like, I basically just told him, like, you got people back here that love you and care about you. Like, why, you're not.
Yeah, it's kind of a big move when you're in bad health.
Like, when you're in bad health and stuff. And so our last conversation was kind of me being like, yo, like, you need to come back here. Like, what are you doing? Right? Kind of trying to knock some sense into him. But then I found out he passed away at work while I was at work.
Jeez.
And I was bummed out. Like, I had to fucking hold it together like the last 2 hours of my shift.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you want to know how gangster the medical system is? Because people come and go, get sick and die and heal all the time.
Yeah.
The guy called me back out of nowhere. I was at work. Nate wasn't with me. I remember who was working with me. And it it reconfirmed how quickly life can just be like, boop, like be gone. The doctor literally called me out of the blue. I answered the phone because it was the same number. I thought it was John calling me back to be like, what up, man? I'm fucking getting pussy in the doctor's office or something, right? And the guy's like, is this Evan Vega? I go, yeah. He goes, Mr. Simmer's nephew? I go, yeah, that's me. He goes, we just wanted to let you know that Mr. Simmer has expired and all this stuff. And that was
Expired.
They use that term? They use expired?
They use the term expired. It's a medical term.
All right.
So they told me that he expired and my condolences and all these other things, and that his actual family, like his sister, was going to make arrangements to do whatever with his body and all that shit.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Wow.
That last conversation I had with him. But that's why we have his background. For the people that watch the podcast, listen to it, that's his face on the background of the podcast. But yeah, dude, the Sarge was a man, dude. We got all of it recorded. If Nate ever wants to lay down tracks, dude, we'll just literally layer the Sarge in there, dude, and he'll be all the hooks.
Sarge got the hardest
Sarge would be just the sampled hooks, dude. Yo, hey, hardest bars on the East Coast, hardest underground rapper on the East Coast, dude. I'll stack him up against anybody.
Facts.
Big facts. Doesn't matter who it is. And these dudes, these Burt cracked out dudes at FedEx that think they can rap. Fucking, well, genetics makes some good music.
Genetics is making it up there in the world.
He's making it up there, but he don't want no smoke with the Sarge or the D's though. He's already told Genetics he'd crack him real quick.
He got
those
nothing
hands.
for me.
But yeah, this is the Keepin' It G Real podcast. I'm here with two of my good buddies. We're briefly gonna like glance over. I've been busy with school, and I was gonna make it a point to really break down the Khabib and the Poirier fight. There's not a lot of good fights on the card, and we're just going to talk about the main card now. Obviously, Griffin has started to watch the fights a little bit. I don't know how much in full Ethan actually watches MMA.
More so just like in the recent past.
So I'm just going to go through these, and I'm going to give a little more briefer explanations on how I just think the fights are going to go and give some picks. You know what I'm thinking about? I want your guys' opinion on something. I don't have the best record of picking fights, and I know other people that are really good MMA minds that don't have the best record picking fights.
Yeah.
We've had crazy upsets in the sport, and like shit there's so many variables. It's not like every other sport. Every guy brings so much to the mix in a one-on-one fight. It's like you could throw punches at dozens of different angles, kicks at dozens of different angles. There's power that's different on every single one. There's millions of punches, millions of kicks, combinations anyways. There's just thousands of things you could do. The ground game, some guys are more athletic. It just goes on and on. Some dudes, their mental's there. Sometimes their tactics aren't there. Like, so I'm thinking about just giving like, kind of just being like, talk about their paths to victory and what it could possibly look like if both guys beat the other. Like, be like, for example, with Poirier, I'm going to outline how I think he could win.
Yeah.
And then outline how I think Khabib could win. And like, you know, if I was betting my money, Poirier's such a huge underdog in this fight that I tried to put money on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to pick anymore because like there's nights where I get almost all my picks right, and then there's nights where just like it's just abysmal. It makes me look like I'm fucking like I suck at analyzing these fighters.
Betting on fighting, it's crazier because instead of betting like in a football game, instead of betting on like what is it, the 52-man roster of people that they have to all put an effort towards getting a win, you have way better chances with that than betting all your money on one dude. One dude's got to hold up his entire end of the bargain.
And you know that when you bet on a football game, you're betting by a point spread.
Yeah.
So like if it's like the Raiders are -7 to beat the Dolphins, you're saying like if you bet they got to beat them by 7 for you to get your full money. It's by the points. Yeah. With fighting, it's different. One thing that's scary about fighting, if you ever do bet any sum of money on a fight, it's the most intense sport to bet on because every single punch or kick or anything that gets thrown at you, dude, you shit yourself every time. You're like,
You sound like Joe Rogan color commentating.
Dude, it's bad. Like your asshole's puckered up the whole time. Like it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so we're just gonna run through real quick. We'll probably talk the most. I would probably talk more about Barboza and Felder, but I think that fight's gonna go exactly the same way. But Mirabek Tusimov versus Diego Ferreira. I mean, I think this is a straightforward fight. Mirabek Tusimov is like a really high-level striker. He can fight going forward and backward. He's actually a good counter guy. Throws piston straight punches. He's got decent takedown defense. Diego Ferreira, his striking, and obviously you guys probably haven't seen these guys fight, but Diego Ferreira, his striking has developed a lot. But I think it's one of those classic scenarios where I don't think his striking is good enough for him to get Tusimov where he needs to be to get him to the floor. If he can get Tusimov to the floor, he's going to have a hefty advantage in the jiu-jitsu. He's a legitimate Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. A lot of these guys get their BJJ black belts. Not, in my opinion, not many of them are super, super... Like, you get your black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that's a crazy achievement.
Yeah.
But it's different in MMA. There's a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belts in MMA that don't get submissions. They don't even threaten dudes with submissions because guys are so good at wrestling. But Diego Ferreira is one of those guys. He's actually got a lot of submissions on his record. But I think Tusimov either wins. If I had to pick, Tusimov probably beats Ferreira by either a decision or a knockout. I don't see Ferreira getting him to the floor. So and then this is one of Nate's and Andy J's dudes. They love Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades, Shamil. I don't know what the odds are. Let's see who pulled up the odds on this. Of course, it changes pages. It doesn't even say, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any odds on there.
Hold on.
I don't see anything.
Other than the...
See, I don't like about this website, when you click back, it goes all the way back to the front page.
Oh, jeez.
But so there's been a lot of these Russian heavyweight guys that have come out for some reason. Like, the Russians have, taken MMA by storm in the lower weight classes.
Yeah.
There's tons of really good Russian kids. But the heavyweight Russians, most of them aren't good unless your name's Andrei Arlovsky. Or Alexander Volkov. A lot of these Russian dudes are, meat and potatoes style guys. They kind of, they're okay at a little bit of everything, but they're not athletic. And then they're not really good at any one thing.
Just, average Joe tough guys.
I think Curtis Blades is gonna fuck Shamil Abdurakhimov up. Curtis Blades could probably win this fight any way he wants. Takedown, knockouts. Curtis Blades underrated, ranked number 4, but the division's so shallow. This dude Shamil is ranked 9th, but Curtis Blades is probably your betting favorite. Islam Makhachev. Now this kid's Khabib's boy. It's like Khabib's younger cousin or whatever. He's nasty.
I was gonna say, it looks like Khabib.
Yeah, he could do a little bit of everything. Obviously, he comes from Dagestan, where they come from. They're all good at wrestling and grappling. Problem is, he's going to want to look to keep it on the feet against Davi Ramos. Davi Ramos is like a 3-time world Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion and all this shit. And he's built like a fucking Mack truck. He's yoked to the fucking gills, Davi. Look at that dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's cut.
He's huge for 155 pounds. He's shorter, but he's still fucking big. He's going to have... Well, they got the same reach.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Islam's still pretty decent sized dude.
Yeah, Islam's nasty.
He's pretty well shredded.
It's hilarious. There's a lot of people with the whispers in the ethos that Islam could eventually be better than Khabib. Well, we're gonna get to some of the theories I have on Khabib, but I don't think he's that. He's definitely a way better striker than Khabib, and I think that's where Islam's gonna shine in this. Davi Ramos is strong. He's got heavy hands, but I think it should look similar to the Tusimov fight. He should be able to keep Davi Ramos off him, and I think he'll win by unanimous decision. I don't think Davi Ramos really threatens him much.
Islam's got 17 wins.
Yeah, dude. 17-1.
That's
wild.
That's
these
crazy.
boys can fight. The only problem is they got a lot of wins, and if you go 17-1, that's nasty. But they've been fighting on a lot of smaller shows, haven't fought a lot of good guys. That's the only thing. And then Edson Barboza versus Paul Felder. I don't know if you've watched any of these guys fight, but they're two of the best in this division. They've lost. They've both dropped a couple, so they've kind of fallen down in the rankings. But this is the second time they fought.
I've heard of both of them, but I don't recall ever actually watching them.
Paul Felder's nickname is the Irish Dragon.
That's funny.
And he's not even from Boston, but every time I see a dude that's Irish, right, and he's got some crazy... I just every time I hear Paul Felder, I say it like Paul Felder, like I'm from Boston.
Felder.
Paul Felder.
Fucking Paul Felder, gonna con the guy for the garden party. But Paul Felder's a G, but he already fought Edson Barboza. And Barboza won a decision over him, and it was primarily a striking battle. This fight's not gonna go to the floor at all.
Just gonna stand and slug it out.
What did I tell you was one of the biggest key factors in a lot of these striking fights when I was at work? Speed.
Just how quick you are.
You gotta be fast enough to an extent.
Yeah.
Edson Barboza might be the fastest guy as far as actually throwing strikes in the division. He's the dude that landed that crazy spinning hook kick on Terry Adam and knocked him out, and he was like stiff like this.
Oh shit, we watched.
Remember that? And
Yeah,
Rogan's
we
like,
watched that.
remember Rogan calls it. Rogan's like, he looks like he wants to spin, and then he goes, he needs to be careful before he gets. And he says knocked out as he hits him with a kick. He goes knocked out, no. He says freaking out.
That's wild,
dude. It's good, but I just think Edson Barboza again. He beat Felder because he's faster, more technical, and he's such a good striker that he's really good at gauging distance against other strikers. He keeps dudes on the outside, threatens you with leg kicks and those kicks to the head. If Paul Felder can change his tact up and like mix it up and not just only look to strike with him, he might be able to turn the tide in this fight, but I just don't see it happening. Barboza's so good at not getting taken down. The only dude that I've ever seen manhandle Barboza is Khabib.
wow.
That's it. I don't.
He does look like a pretty solid dude.
He's so he's so athletic.
yeah.
He might be
Jeez.
the best athlete in the division. He's long and he's lean and explosive. Let's see. I'll go back and look. Let's see who Edson Barboza's fought. He's beaten everybody except for like a few guys.
I've definitely seen Barboza in a fight before.
Okay, here we go. So Barboza beat Gagey. That was a crazy fight. He beat Dan Hooker. He beat Kevin Lee. He's on a 3-fight win streak. But his last loss, he lost to Khabib because he got manhandled. He smashed. Look at the 2 elite fighters, and Beneil Dariush should give him a lot. He was only lost to Khabib recently, and it's because Khabib manhandled him. Barboza even had. See, the thing is, we're going to talk to this when we talk about the final fight. I love Khabib just as much as everyone else, but in almost every single fight Khabib's had, dudes have had moments on him.
yeah.
And that's where. And so, in closing, I think if you're betting money, I think Barboza's he's the favorite. So I mean, it's such a close fight. You probably wouldn't bet money on it. I have a feeling it's going to go similar to the first one. But we'll talk about the main event. We're going to spend the bulk of our time talk about this.
Yeah, I definitely I saw the Barboza and Khabib fight.
Yeah, the only guy Barboza had some moments in one of the rounds. He managed to stay on his feet for a while and was landing some good shots on Khabib and stuff like that. But at that point, I think it was the third round. At that point, he's so zapped after trying to keep Khabib from mauling him the whole time. Like you're not going to generate power in the end of the fight. But yeah, so the main event, this is what we're all going to watch fights for tomorrow. One of my favorite fighters of all time, Dustin Diamond Poirier, takes on Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov. So,
What's his nickname?
the Eagle.
The Eagle. Oh, that's dope.
Sick name.
So when you look at these guys, Khabib comes in sporting that 27-0 undefeated record.
Wild.
And Dustin comes in 24-5 with 1 no contest towards Eddie Alvarez. That was the one where Eddie kneed him on purpose in the head when he was down. It was a legal blow, and it like almost knocked him out, and the referee had to stop it because Dustin could barely fucking stand up.
The fuck.
Dustin's got a slight reach advantage, and he actually uses his reach very well. Leg reach.
He does have long limbs.
Yeah, for being only 5'9", his limbs are. Arms almost as long as mine, and I'm almost 4 inches shorter or 4 inches taller than him. Okay, so we'll look at what the stats say. So Dustin definitely tilts the scale and obviously significant strikes landed per minute. Strikes landed per minute, but significant strikes they're even. Dustin absorbs more per minute, but that's also because Dustin spends most of his fights on the feet, and he's fought every fucking top guy in this division.
Yeah.
Their defense, the defense is deceiving in my opinion for Khabib. Khabib has decent defense, and we'll talk about his defense in a second. But you got to remember that 66% defense, he barely is in. He's rarely ever in positions to strike with guys unless he has them beat and decides he wants to.
Wow.
Like most of the time, he just has dudes on the floor. And he's just beating them up. Like that's a small sample size. Dustin's is over 50%, and he fights everybody on the feet. So that's pretty damn good. Obviously, you already know the grappling stats. 5 takedowns per 15 minutes for Khabib. 1.7 for Poirier. Takedown accuracy, almost similar. And that's the key to this. That's the key to this fight. We're going to talk about that. Takedown defense, obviously. Well, Dustin's capable of being taken down. Lesser grapplers have taken him down. So we'll talk about the striking at first. And you've watched Dustin and Khabib fight a little bit.
Yeah.
They're night and day striking.
They're completely different.
Night and day. Like Dustin's high level.
Yeah.
Khabib's striking, and I love these people. Like Khabib started to develop like a good jab. So we'll start off offensively. On Khabib's side, there's a couple of things that Khabib does okay. His jab is like a B jab, and it's not the most technical jab, but it gets there super fast. Yeah. And he's definitely stung people with it. Like, it doesn't feel good when he hits dudes with it. It gets there fast. It's not the most technical jab. It's like a shovel jab. He comes up from the bottom kind of with it and smacks it out there. He has an okay leg kick when he goes to it, but his actual technical, like when he tries to string combinations together, most of it's just haymakers. It's just a means to an end. He's trying to get you off kilter, get you in the right position against the fence.
Yeah.
So he could try to take you down. His strikes are mostly just to corral you. Dustin, on the other hand, just has a myriad of different strikes that he could do. He has really solid footwork, not just coming forward, but backing up and laterally. He could switch stances at different times. And he is really good. As we watched the Gaethje fight today, where I showed you how he hurt Gaethje and stalked him.
Yeah.
He could just follow you around the cage, and he just flows. It doesn't matter where you move. He cuts you off perfectly. There's no fat in his distance. He's patient, gauges distance really well. Throws tons of combinations. And one thing that's really good about Dustin's striking game is a lot of guys, when they fight fighters that are decent at defense, they have a hard time hitting them. Whereas Dustin's punches come from weird, funky angles, even though they're technical punches. He just manages to get around people's guard, like around their hands, and hits them in all the spots that they're not like fucking covering and shit. Mm-hmm. And he's got his best strikes would be, he's got really good body shots. His left straight, when he's southpaw, his straight's nasty. He's got a decent jab, a decent lead hook. When he gets you cornered, his hooks in the clinch, they're just fucking savage. They come from all different angles, uppercuts. The only thing he's not good at is he's not a good kicker at all.
Yeah.
Like, he might be, I love Dustin Poirier. He's got he throws a calf kick out there that hurts people. Yeah. But his actual, if you've ever watched him kick, he can't even throw he's not flexible enough to throw a kick to a dude's, like, top of a dude's solar plexus.
Wow.
He tried to kick Dustin Gaethje in that fight, and he could barely get his leg up past his waist. Like, his hips are kind of tight in that regard.
Huh.
He's never been a good kicker. He throws a decent front kick, but when it comes to the all-around kicking game, he's, like, below average at kicking.
Yeah.
That's the only hole in his game, but do you really want to be kicking against Khabib anyways?
No, not
really.
particularly.
I wouldn't.
Just throwing you off balance and shit.
And so both guys, we'll talk about the physical attributes. I mean, obviously, Khabib's like fucking gorilla strong. DC talks about it all the time that he's just a physical monster. I think he's more physical than Dustin as far as, like, obviously putting his hands on people and grappling. They both have good gas tanks. Khabib has a gas tank that's elite. Khabib's like, I can go 25 minutes straight and it's not an issue. He does take rounds off, though. We've seen it. Remember, Ally Quinto decided to not grapple him anymore and just stand with him?
Yeah.
Because I think he knew
he stood the whole round and just
at that point
bobbed. And
he knew he wasn't in danger because Al was so tired. Plus, Al doesn't throw combinations. Khabib's just like got out of the way of half his punches.
Yeah.
Dustin has a really good gas tank too, but Dustin doesn't have the gas tank Khabib does. Dustin has this gas tank where it's like he can go 25 minutes, but as he gets later in the fights, he bides his time, and even if he gets really tired, he could push to go that 25 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Khabib where it's just full tilt like a fucking machine.
Yeah.
He conserves some energy, and if he needs to push, he can really push.
Yeah.
They're both really good athletes. You'd probably say Khabib's the better athlete. Khabib's lightning fast, like physically. You ever see when he has dudes hurt and he like flies across the cage and throws like fucking
I've definitely seen that.
flying knees and shit? Like, he can move. He might be the better athlete. When it comes to the defensive striking, Khabib only does a few things. So Khabib's whole entire defense is he just leans back. Remember we were talking about that at work? Remember I was telling you about that?
You can only lean back so
far, right? You can only lean back so far. So he could do that against dudes like Justin Gaethje, Ally Quinta, and other guys that can't box that well, can't put together combinations because Al's only going to throw one or two punches. You can back away from one or two punches.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He also does this thing where he'll back up and he'll post his hand out and keep dudes at bay because he's got decent reach for at 155, and he does this high guard, leans back and poses like this and just gets out of the way, and he'll move laterally to get out of the way.
Yeah.
But the problem is he uses a lot of getting out of the way with his whole body to actually get away from people, and that's a good tack to do. But the really good defenders use their lateral movement to not get hit, but also stay in distance to throw people. Khabib's not the best counter striker. If you come forward, the guys that have come forward and thrown punches on him, and he's decided to not shoot a takedown, he kind of just gets out of the way, stays out of the way, and tries to reset with you.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the most technical defender. He doesn't got really, like, he covers up real well, but his movement for defense is not the best.
Yeah, he's just not. He's not half of what Dustin is on the feet.
Yeah, like he will move out of the way, and he's not the easiest dude to hit, I would say. But he has to move out of the way and create enough distance where he can reset on his terms.
Yeah.
Now, Dustin's defense, he's been in a lot of firefights. He's been hit and cut open, but his defense is pretty damn good for a dude that strikes with absolutely everybody. He's fought some of the best strikers.
Yeah.
He does a really good job covering up, rolling with punches, and Dustin always has this balance and solid footwork where he can come at you, absorb and roll with punches, defend himself, and then return right away. He's always in position. So if Khabib tries to stand up with him and he's just going to lean back or try to get out of the way, Dustin's just going to keep following him. And as he follows him, he can keep throwing shots. He's not going to let off in the striking department. The reason Al had his moments in that fight with Khabib, but you want to know why Al couldn't finish him? Because Al sucks at striking, and he can't throw more than one-punch combinations, two-punch combinations.
Yeah.
And Dustin comes forward, it's like a cascade of punches. It's just like you move left, he cuts you off, bap, bap, bap. It's heavy.
Yeah.
You know, he can kind of be kind of like the Diaz's at times, where he just follows you around and throws a bunch of small punches and medium punches. If it stays on the feet, Dustin's got a distinct advantage. Another thing that Dustin is really good at is Dustin's really good when it comes to transitions in MMA. When it comes as far as his striking, like, say Khabib pins him up against the fence and he manages to get out. He's on his horse. He's moving. He's right to striking.
Yeah.
He's not backing out and run away from you. If he manages to get hooks and gets out from under Khabib, he's immediately going bap, bap, bap. He's throwing strikes. He's moving, coming back. Like, you know, a lot of the grapplers, they just disengage and try to reset.
Yeah.
Every waking moment, as long as his conditioning is there, he's going to be, in any spots he gets a chance to turn the tide, he's going to be throwing shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's going to be throwing shots. There's a lot of
bombard him with shots.
There's a lot of transitional stuff that Khabib's not that good at, in my opinion, as far as like mixing your striking with your grappling, because he doesn't have to be. He hasn't had to be. He's just been able to just control everyone and beat you up when you're on the floor.
Yeah.
Another thing I want, so with the grappling, Dustin's got really, really solid jiu-jitsu. He's actually got more submission wins, or just as many submission wins as he has knockout wins. He's submitted dudes with submitted dudes with Darce chokes. When he fought Max Holloway, he hit him with that. Remember I told you that girl from my gym hit that kid with that crazy submission where it was an inverted triangle armbar? He hit Max Holloway their first fight with that.
Wow.
He's got really good jiu-jitsu, but against a guy like Khabib, you're not submitting Khabib with his wrestling. He's just going to control. If it goes to the floor, he's going to control position most likely and just pass guard and just beat you up.
Yeah.
I don't think the submission's going to be much of an issue. Dustin is susceptible to being taken down, but I think the key with the grappling is we already know what Khabib brings. Khabib gets after you. He shoots for the single leg, and he's just relentless. If he gets a hold of your leg, he's just going to keep chaining takedowns, get you against the fence. Although there's a key that I think no one's has paid as much attention to when it comes to Khabib's grappling. In my opinion, when Khabib gets himself in position and he actually establishes position to get you and take you down, there's no one better. When he actually gets on you and he has you and he starts to take you to the floor, you're fucked. But I can make you the argument that if you can make him miss enough, Khabib only shoots for single legs, right? I sat and watched tons of film on Khabib the other night with the Fight Pass shit. Out of all, I wrote down every single takedown that I seen him get. And around 90% of his takedowns all come against the cage. And he never shoots double legs. He starts with a single leg kind of in the middle of the cage, and dudes are like, oh shit, he runs them into the fence, and then he eventually takes them down in a multitude of different ways. Dustin has solid footwork, and he's good at landing strikes and getting out of the way and circling around dudes. I hope Dustin's game plan is to come in and put an emphasis on moving and not getting single-legged. Khabib misses a lot on single legs too. You can go look at almost every single fight he's had. There's multiple times Ally Quinto, those 2 rounds where it stayed on the feet, Khabib tried to take him down and went 1 of 5.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's not
if
always
Dustin can
successful
just-
in the middle of the cage.
Yeah.
Dustin's got to keep
Dustin
it
just
off the
move.
cage.
Yeah.
And it's easier said than done, dude.
Yeah.
If you guys ever come out and train, dude, just wait till the first time you spar with someone for 3 minutes. No takedowns, just striking, dude. You're going to be fucking exhausted.
Oh, yeah, for
Just,
sure.
and obviously, if you guys come out and train, you're going to be learning basics. Just learning how to move around and just trying to stay away from dudes or trying to keep distance it's tiring.
Yeah.
So imagine trying to fucking run away from Khabib's single leg for fucking 25 minutes.
Not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
So
It's going to be daunting.
I think the key's going to... And here's why I think Dustin could possibly have success.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the area in which Dustin can excel in this fight. I don't think that Khabib has fought anyone that's this good in the transitional striking aspect of MMA. Whereas if Khabib tries to initiate clinch situations and initiate takedowns, if he's not in on them 100%, if he misses them for whatever reason or decides to bail out of them, he's going to be in trouble because Dustin's counter ability off those transitions from a striking standpoint are nasty. His footwork's solid. He's grounded. He hangs in the pocket. If Khabib doesn't get to those single legs early and often, or he decides to stand with them for too long, he's going to make him pay for every time he doesn't do what he needs to do. He needs to get Dustin to the floor to win this fight. He does not have a chance if he doesn't get Dustin. That's the way it is. If it goes to the floor, most likely Dustin's not going to be able to stop Khabib from. It's that classic striker versus grappler matchup.
Yeah.
And
it clearly goes to one fighter when it comes to on the feet and when it comes to on the mat wrestling.
And in a normal fight, if you look at their skill sets, I don't care what anyone says. Dustin's a more well-rounded fighter than Khabib. But what Khabib is so good at nullifies half of what Dustin's good at.
Yeah.
Dustin could submit a lot of guys, but Khabib's so good at wrestling, he's not...
a dude of Khabib's power and wrestling skill,
he's not going to be able to submit him.
Yeah.
So, but I think where people are sleeping is that if Khabib... I think that if Khabib can't finish him quickly, I think if Khabib wins, he's going to submit him. I think if Khabib might be able to park on top of him and fucking take a rear naked choke or maybe a Kimura and just break his arm off.
Yeah.
Right? If this fight goes to the late rounds, the third and fourth round, and if those middle rounds look anything like the Ally Quinta fight,
yeah,
Khabib might be in trouble. Because Dustin, if he doesn't put Dustin away, Dustin, in my opinion, can weather a storm enough to get Khabib tired. And because Khabib starts to take those rounds off, he's done it in tons of fights.
Yeah.
And Dustin's dangerous with his striking. He's put dudes away early, he's put dudes away late. Justin Gaethje, he put Justin Gaethje away late in the fourth round. Or no, it was the beginning of the fifth round.
He's still a threat no matter what
he's a
round
threat
it is.
no matter what. So, in my opinion, Khabib's kind of got to be flawless in this fight. I think he's got to
everything's got to go to plan for him.
It's in early and often.
Yeah.
Do I think that there's a better chance of Khabib executing his game plan than Dustin? I love Dustin with all my heart. I think so. I think if you're being honest, you're probably going to take Khabib. But I think this is the biggest test that Khabib's ever faced. And if you go back, and something else I wanted to say about Khabib, you go back and you look at his record. My boy Frontali was hitting me up the other day, and he's like, dude, Khabib hasn't fought a lot of good guys. Now, it's super impressive that he's fucking 27-0.
But it's padded by a bunch of
so
meaningless
if you open it up, Conor, that's an A-list fight. People can talk shit about Conor, but Conor can fucking fight.
Oh, yeah.
Ally Quinta, I'm not a fan of Ally Quinta. I don't think he's a top 10 guy. He's beaten some good guys at 205, mainly, or 155, mainly Kevin Lee in the top 10. He's beat Kevin Lee twice.
I watched one or two of Quinta fights. I'm
not impressed by Ally Quinta.
Yeah.
He's not as athletic as these guys. His striking's not that good. He's got okay wrestling, but he stuffed a lot of takedowns in those middle rounds by Khabib. You want to know why? Because Khabib shot him in the middle. Dustin's got to keep Khabib in the middle of the cage.
Yeah.
If he can keep Khabib in the middle of the cage and stay disciplined with his balance and foot positioning and just stay away from being single-legged, it's easier said than done. That's his path to victory. He's got to stay off the cage.
Extremely tiring.
Michael Johnson, he's all right. Michael Johnson gave him struggles, though, in the beginning. Punched him straight down the pipe and had him fucking hurt. Remember that?
Oh, jeez.
First round. But then when you go down more, it's like, yeah, he beat RDA when RDA was younger. He beat this dude, Daryl Horcher, ain't nobody. Bam Bam Healy, Abel Trujillo. When you start going down,
dude doesn't have a picture on the
when
website.
you start going down here, I'm not impressed by his overall wins. His two best wins are Edson Barboza and Connor.
It's 20. It's like, we'll say 20 just absolutely padded gimme wins for him.
Yeah.
But when you go to Dustin Poirier's record,
he's just fighting killers.
He's fighting all
he's
these
fighting
good
killers
dudes, yeah.
all the time. So he beat Max, Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, Anthony Pettis. That was the fight that was the no contest.
Yeah.
He beats Jim Miller, who's high level. Lost to Michael Johnson, which is crazy. My buddy Mike, shout out to Mike. Mike called that shit. Mike goes, I have a feeling Michael Johnson might be too fast on the feet for him, and he did. He zapped him with a 2 and just fucking put him away.
Wow.
Another high-level fighter, Bobby Green. He beat Joe Duffy, who at one point was almost a top 10 fighter. Yancy Medeiros is okay. Diego Ferreira is okay. Lost to Connor. Diego Brandao, he beat Coke when Coke was beating everybody. He's beaten more fighters than Khabib. He lost to Cub Swanson, lost to Chan Sung Jung, but he beat Max Holloway the first time.
Yeah, first time.
Yeah, he submitted him.
That's another big win.
That was back in the day.
Yeah.
And then this is when he fought in the WC in the early UFC days. But Dustin's catalog of fighters, not only has he beaten way more good fighters, he's fought more on top of the ones he's lost.
Whether he won
or
or
lost,
not,
he's fighting killers.
Still fought a
yeah.
plethora of killers.
Good word.
Plethora.
A fucking plethora.
Plethora of
Yeah.
killers.
So I think basically in closing of this, if Dustin, the key to, I know we can sit here and people probably listen and go, the key because it's that easy. No, it's not that fucking easy. But the key to beating Khabib is being on your horse and implementing a striking game where you don't get your ass backed up. The only problem is Dustin has a tendency when he's getting out of striking exchanges and he's using his footwork to take steps where he's moving laterally but sliding more towards the fence. He's been corralled to the fence. Like, he'll dip out to his left and then slide back a little bit. And then you just move right and he'll slide to his right a little bit and dip back a little bit. He's been backed up to the fence before by guys because I think he's comfortable fighting everywhere.
Yeah.
But against Khabib, you can't get your ass on the fence.
Yeah.
If he could stay grounded, stay patient, and be focused in those striking exchanges in the middle of the cage, that's where he's got to win. He's got to meet him halfway. You got to meet these grapplers halfway and force them to strike. Well over half of takedowns now in the UFC happen against the fence. The amount of takedowns that happen in the middle of the cage, it's so low.
Yeah.
It's super fucking low.
Well, it's way easier to pin somebody up against the fence than take them down.
And it not only is it easier to defend a takedown, too, it's pretty easy to use the fence to defend a takedown as well. Yeah. But he's not going to defend those takedowns. I don't think. I would shit my pants if Dustin just comes out, stuffs his takedowns, and just beats his ass. Like, I'd fucking lose my mind. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm rooting for Dustin Poirier. I think he. Well, obviously, Dustin needs a knockout win. Knockout or a decision win. I would love to see him do it in the early rounds and save getting beat up for a little bit.
Yeah.
But if this fight goes to the third round, momentum shift, boys. Momentum shift. This fight goes late and Dustin's still sticking around. Alhamdulillah. That's what Khabib says. He might be in trouble, dude.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think I might have to go with Dustin.
If I like really had to like be honest and like if I was putting money on it, I'd have to go with Khabib, but
right.
I think Dustin is fully equipped to be able to take out Khabib, knock him out.
If the fight goes the right way.
Yeah. But
the fight plays out in the right way, I could see Dustin fucking hurting him pretty bad.
Yeah. Dustin's going to have to put in work, keep it in the center of the cage like you said, and Khabib just hopefully for Dustin is not flawless and does not perfectly corral him and take him down and just hold him there.
Ooh.
Beat the hell out of him.
One more thing before we move on to just talking about random shit. Little snidbit. Khabib's acting a little differently for this fight. He struggled to make weight. They had to bring the fucking thingamabob out there with him.
Yeah.
To like get fucking naked and shit.
Yeah.
He also, the first time I've heard him come out of his mouth, I'm under so much pressure and, it's stressful and all these other things and blah, 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 blah. And
He's
remember, he hasn't fought in years. He hasn't fought in 2 years. I think a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, that's true. The Conor fight was a while ago.
He's been trained. He did some of his training camp in various spots so he could be disjointed. This is a hometown crowd for him for the first time. Like Abu Dhabi, they're all Muslim. Like everyone there is for him. His dad's going to be in the corner.
Yeah.
Dustin's gone into people's backyards and murked them. Like Dustin don't give a fuck if they're fighting in a fucking back alley or if they're fucking, fighting in a fucking Japanese Superdome or some shit.
And
like
Khabib,
you don't give a fuck.
if Khabib loses in Abu Dhabi, like that's kind of a
dude, that'd be crazy.
Kind of a big deal for him.
Yeah, right, dude. They'd be like, Allah Akbar, and fucking freak out, dude. Allah Akbar. Apparently, like, if
your dad's dead, buddy.
Oh, damn. You in the crowd with a banner saying your dad's dead.
You lose the fight, you lose your dad.
Whoa. You want to know what I noticed? I don't know if it's, like, no offense, like, to the Muslim. I got Muslim friends, but, like, I've noticed the Muslim thing, like, dude, there's never women with them.
No.
Never.
No.
When they do, they've been doing anatomy.
They're at home.
Dude, they've been doing anatomy of the fighter with Khabib and all those guys.
Yeah.
For like a year now, where they just follow Khabib around, even back in Dagestan, his home. You never see women. You see little kids, like little girls running around and stuff.
Yeah.
But like when you see Dustin Poirier and all his shows and stuff like that, you meet his wife, you see his daughter and family and all this stuff. But Khabib's like, no camera on my wife. My wife, like. You don't see his family. Like, they're never riding her. Have you ever seen what it looks like when they watch the fights over in Dagestan?
No.
They watch it in a giant gymnasium at, like, a high school. It's just all dudes. No women there.
That's crazy.
They're all in the giant man group. Just going,
women. They don't want women on camera because they're private, and they don't want women watching fighting because that's aggressive men shit. That's not something they should be exposed to.
Women in the kitchen, am I right?
Yeah, I guess so, dude. Up in the mountains, bro. Cooking. You want to know another interesting fact about Khabib? Apparently in the Dagestani Muslim culture, he's the youngest. And in their culture, the youngest son of every family has their family and shares a home with their parents the rest of their life.
Interesting.
So like him, his wife, and his 2 kids live in the bottom floor of his dad's home.
Not if he loses his fight.
You're a disgrace, Kalabib.
The whole home's going to be his. No more pops.
But yeah, so I'll be rooting for Dustin Poirier. Like I said, Key's going to be able to stay away from that single and make those striking exchanges count. What's the matter?
Nothing.
He's adjusting himself.
I pulled the armrests up and he looked at his.
But yeah,
like,
so excited. What time is it? Shit, it's only 2:30. The night's still young, boys. All right, we're going to switch gears here from the fights, and we're going to go into just talking about just random bullshit because these two are funny as hell, so we'll just talk about random conspiracy. Apparently, these two, for the record, Ethan's 18 and Griffin's 20.
Whoa.
These dudes don't know anything about Lord of the Rings.
Youngins. Hey, no.
He's watched all
Lord of the Rings, all right?
He's a dweeb.
I know.
These dudes don't know about fucking WWF wrestling.
But
they don't know about the finer things in life. I bring up so like Griff didn't know what a large Hashlon collider was the other day, and I had to show it to him, and he was like,
let's be honest, probably half the people listening to this right now also don't know.
I bet you Deez knows.
Maybe
it's Deez.
I bet you Dante knows. Oh, I mean, we can't say Dante's name on the podcast.
Oh, that's
Big D. I bet you Big D knows. Bet you Kyle Lapine knows. Just know about Kyle Lapine.
DJ Kai Kai?
DJ Kai Kai knows.
DJ Kai Kai.
So I have some of these like funny. I have these lists of conspiracies up. You want to know what the deep state was, right?
Yeah. I want to hear a little bit more about this. This would be a good thing to have
These dudes are going to start freaking out. Yeah, Nate, we like Article 2342 of the Manifesto, line 6-8.
Deep state, brother.
So the deep state says in the United States, the term deep state is used to describe conspiracy theory, which suggests that collusion and cronyism exists within the U.S. political system and constitutes a hidden government within the legitimately elected government. Some people believe that there is a hybrid association of elements of government in parts of a top-level financing and industry that is effectively able to govern the United States without reference to the consent of the governed or expressed through the governed and expressed through the formal political process. whereas others consider the deep state and encompass corruption that is particularly prevalent amongst career politicians and civil servants. So that's what the deep state is. Nate believes it's real. Here's the thing: the government's definitely fucking corrupt. So whether you want to call it the deep state or if you just want to be like politicians are corrupt, okay.
It's all about greasy pockets.
Who's the most popular?
It
Gotta
says
have that money.
It says the term was originally coined to refer to a similar, relatively invisible state apparatus in Turkey, composed of high-level elements within the intelligence agents or services, military, security, judiciary, and organized crime, and similar alleged networks in other countries, including Egypt, Ukraine, Spain, Colombia, Italy, Israel, and many others. So, well, when I think about the deep state, they like Alex Jones was like, it's a shadow government, folks. Shadow government. They're coming into your homes. They're fucking stealing your wife and your kids and getting you on psychedelics. So you see Baphomet the goat and all this shit. He starts freaking the fuck out. Like
The frogs.
the fucking frogs making their kids gay, folks. Plastics. Fucking black helicopters.
Chimeras.
Chimeras. Yo, that shit was real.
It's wild shit.
There's literally people trying to turn people into half people, half animal.
That's fucking weird.
This fucking shit's crazy,
I'm trying
right?
to be half
Call
donkey.
fucking What would you do if you were half donkey?
I'd kick the fuck out of people. If it was, I want the back legs, so I can kick the fuck out of people.
Jesus fucking Christ. Who would you kick first?
No, that's
Seth? You kick
Seth,
Seth's final tooth out his mouth?
Yeah, I'd be like, hee-haw, just fucking kick
Dude,
the shit out of that
what's
tooth.
going on with Seth and Dave at work, you think? How funny would it be if Nate just calls us going, dude,
Yo, I
you
hope
guys
they-
all need to go over there. Why? Because they're just fist
I
fighting.
hope they scrap. Yeah,
What would you do? Dave just hits him with all those fucking corny rings Dave's got.
yeah.
Just fucking hits Seth.
I really hope that like they scrap Seth 2 pieces, Dave.
Oh, that
and
would
then-
be fucking funny.
And then Dave gets removed from another site.
What's that shit with Dave being removed from a site?
So the Rite Aid site where Ethan's at, Dave was there, but he got into a fight with another security guard. Like they got into an argument, and Dave, I guess, was the one who provoked it. So he got removed from site. And now he's with us.
Wow.
Yeah. he's
Why
got-
don't they just let these fucking dudes go?
Yeah, he's got a bad attitude. I think it's because he's short.
Yeah.
He's got little man syndrome.
He does have I could tell he doesn't get like shitty with me.
No.
He fucking knows better.
Yeah.
But I could tell underlying that he has like this like frustrated like shitty attitude.
Yeah. He's
Where he just
pussy.
kind of doesn't give a shit about anything. He's like me
Yeah,
all
he
the
did-
time.
Not only does he got a bad attitude, but like he just doesn't work either. And like
I've only worked with him twice.
and Seth being
That's a smart move right there.
one of the laziest guards we have, like
Bitchin'.
when he does do stuff, he does it well, but like he doesn't often do stuff. He gets pissed when people don't do work, so now he's literally gonna he won't move out of that chair tonight. Like he'll literally look at people, like nod at them, acknowledge that they're there and they need their bag checked or need to be wanted. He won't move until Dave does. He'll let Dave do it. There's no shot he's moving. He's a fucking nutcase.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
Back to what we were talking about. You know what I think about when I think about the deep state, and I don't know if it's directly correlated, but a lot of the people that are part of like all these powers and these criminal empires to be, dude. You know what I can't like this whole shit with the Epstein shit, the child sex rings, dude.
Oh,
Suicided.
Jesus. Yeah.
Clinton suicided him.
The fucking Clinton
For the
suicide.
Suicided him.
Do you think Hillary just like sits up somewhere and she's just got all these names of people she don't like and she
Yeah, I
just
think-
click buttons?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just fucking
I
just
think
clicking
Bill's
a
got
button.
nothing
kill.
to do with killing people. Bill just
It's
like
just Hillary. Bill's
Yeah.
just fucking Hillary's
Bill's like,
killing
I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. He's like, yeah, I might be fucking around with little kids and lots of women, but like, I'm not killing people, guys. Jeez.
What's
Fucking
worse, diddling kids or
sheesh.
killing people? There you
I
go.
don't
That's a
know.
good debate. What's worse, diddling little kids or murder? I say diddling little
yeah,
kids.
like,
Diddling
I'd
little
have
kids
to
is
say,
worse.
yeah.
Because you're not just getting rid of a person, you're creating like what's probably going to
Yeah.
be a
Yeah,
bad
gonna create a
person.
monster.
You're ruining that
Fucking-
person.
Yeah, ruining a child before they understand what it's like to live for real.
Yeah. It's one thing if we just lose another person. Like, if, fuck it, we got billions
tons of
more.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, don't fuck up a little kid.
It's funny. So I was telling your brother today that I'm thinking about. There's a lady who's one of the only people. We have a woman at our school who's one of the only people in the United States right now
Yeah.
that has a PhD that has devoted her life to studying pedophilia and
That's
sexual
wild.
deviancy. She's
Why
one of
isn't there
4
more?
people.
That's crazy.
And so she's dying for people to come research. Now,
Yeah.
I want to be like a therapist. That's why I'm going to school, to be a clinician.
Yeah.
But one of the only things that's still a big mystery, there's a lot of things that are still a mystery in the science world, but one of the things as far as the social sciences, like psychology,
Yeah.
we still haven't figured out why people are pedophiles. So I think, and it's one thing that's always bugged me. Like, so it's one of those things that I really wish we can get to the bottom of. I think there's a multitude of different reasons that can turn someone into being like that. There's starting to be evidence that they think that there's like genetic and like hereditable predisposal to be like. I think some people want to come to the conclusion that it's similar to like, in my opinion, you're born gay. I think you could be because of the way you can condition the brain, you can 100% through abuse and condition someone to act a certain way and do certain things. But if you're someone that's not been abused and you pop out the puss gay, you're just gay. You're born gay.
Yeah, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I guess,
you're born straight.
You can condition people, like you say.
Not even like using straight, like as if it's bad to be gay.
But it's hard to do that. Like I feel like I would solidly say at least 90% of the time, like, you're just born gay. Like, that's just it's who you are.
I think so too. It's who you are.
It's not really a choice. You don't decide that.
The reason why I think we could say 90% is, for example, I always use this like example when people have this conversation with me. We know for a fact that if you're put in the right conditions, you could be conditioned to exhibit like certain behaviors.
Yeah.
Imagine a child that gets born like in the middle of nowhere to some podunk fucking like backwoods family, and they're just like some hills have eyes shit, and they're just out there fucking each other, and like it's just them, and there's no one around, and the kid does not even know, like that child that grows up in the middle of nowhere that doesn't even know what the outside world's like.
Yeah,
and if that child, I'm saying is if that child gets abused physically, emotionally, sexually, and all those other things, if they haven't had enough contact with the outside world and haven't met other people that will treat them properly, they're going to get conditioned to thinking that's how you move in the world, that's okay.
They're never going to fit into regular society.
Right. Yeah. And that's how they're going to do shit like that a lot of times in regular society. Most of the people that do this stuff, I think my opinion from what I've read and things that I've heard and stories I've heard, I think the vast majority of people, there's some sort of link, some sort of abuse has happened to them when they're younger.
Yeah,
I would not doubt though there being genetical components, because they're starting to realize we can turn genes on and off. Like what if there's biological genes in us that make us have sexual preferences? Gene expression and stuff. Your genes can be turned on and off. For example, you get hit with radiation and it can fucking turn genes on and off. Everything you do, if you eat certain foods, it can turn certain genes on and off.
That's crazy.
So the problem is we just don't know everything about all the genes that are in your DNA.
Yeah.
We have to study that more.
I always just thought it was like some sort of like possibly chemical imbalance, or like just the wrong nerves in your brain.
I think it's a multitude of things.
Your brain's just not quite operating the way it should be, or something.
I always say,
but I don't know enough about it.
Well, really. I always say that every single human being is different. Every single one of us.
Yeah. For sure.
And you got to not be lazy, and you got to look at everything as an individual case. You got to take the time. The problem is there's not enough people, it seems, from what this lady told me in class today. There's not enough people that want to study this stuff. So I think that I'm going to give it a couple more weeks and see some different speakers that are going to come in that are part of the psychology department, and I'm going to look ahead. And I think that she's really dying for people to help her research the shit, and I think that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Doing all my research credits.
To be fair, I mean, there's probably not a lot of people that are interested in like going to school and studying that kind of stuff, because
it's taboo.
Quite frankly, it makes most people like uncomfortable. Like it's highly uncomfortable because you're raised to know that like that's bad shit. Like you shouldn't do that. Like the vast majority of people know that that's wrong, and they're not gonna do that. So like it's just something that I think makes people uncomfortable because of knowing it's wrong and it being just sexual. Like that just tends to make people uncomfortable.
She asked us today, one of the things she asked was, what do you think is like holding us back? She goes, from doing better research on the stuff. And I raised my hand, and she picked me. I was one. She picked out a bunch of people, and I said, I think the biggest thing that's holding us back from trying to figure stuff like this out is we have to get society more comfortable with having the conversation and more disciplined and comfortable about teaching and educating people what's going on. And letting people know that it's important. Like,
yeah.
And then would not even get started going into about the child sex trafficking. That's something I want to talk to her about at some point when I sit down formally with her and be like, how much do you guys study the sex trafficking? Because that's like they're like enabling a network of pedophiles to just torment children for profit. Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I think it's what I'm going to do my credit research on this semester. So what do y'all think about death?
Death.
We were talking about that earlier.
It's crazy.
We were talking about that earlier. We were like, I said to these two, I was like, at work, I was like, if you could go to bed and you had the choice when you went to bed, if you could not wake up tomorrow and you didn't feel your death, like you just passed away while you're sleeping, and that was it, would you do it? And I said, if you would have asked like the teenage me, I might have considered it, and now I don't think it would.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Haven't done everything.
How much you guys think about it? How much you guys think about the fact?
Think about death?
Like, how much do you think about the fact that we fucking die someday?
Oh yeah.
Like, how does that make you feel towards the world?
Quite a bit, because if
everything.
you think about it, it could be any day.
Yeah, it could be right. I could
happen.
die right. What would you do if I died right fucking now?
Yeah, I'd shit my pants and probably not be the same for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you guys are tripping over here. I just fucking croak you guys and lose your minds.
Dead.
Yeah,
You're like, what do we do? Call the cops or what?
I'd be like, wipe the evidence. We weren't here. We're out of here.
We're going home.
Like, somebody's gonna find them. I'm not going to jail.
Does it creep you guys out at all? Like, how much do you guys think about it? Everyone thinks about it a lot at some point. I did when I was like your age. I thought about it a lot.
I'd say like a year or two ago. I thought about it a lot, but now I don't really think
Griff's
about it
like,
much
I'm
at
just
all.
gonna fucking live forever.
Yeah, fuck it.
Never gonna die.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, you could die like fucking tomorrow. I don't know. I used to really let it bug me, but now I've kind of turned it into this thing where it's like, I tell my friends all the time, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, or I don't know if I want to do that, or I don't know if I want to ask this girl out, or this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I just go, listen, bitch, we fucking die. It might be 2 days from now, might be 2 years from now, might be 80 years from now. Like, we all fucking die. Don't be fucking scared to just fucking get out there and
live
do
every
shit.
day like it's your last.
Yeah, like, it's like, once I started realizing that I didn't like believe in like religious shit and stuff like that, it made me like enjoy shit. I wrote that in a paper. I had to write about what my childhood was like in a paper during when I was at Cayuga, and I had to talk about did religion influence my life at all? And I said influence had a tremendous influence on my life. I go because the minute I found out, I decided and I was comfortable with the fact that I did need religion and that I accepted the fact that we all die. It made my life so much better because I stopped worrying about all the shit religion tells us that we all fucking suck and we have to act a certain way or else everything's going to be fucking shitty for us if we croak and go someplace that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, see, religion was never really in question for me because like our parents are not religious. Like they both went to church, I guess, at some point when they were younger, but like once they had their own decision,
chicken wings.
they just didn't they didn't really go with any sort of religion. They didn't follow by that, so we were never really exposed to it at all. So like right off the rip, it had nothing to do with me. I never thought about it. And now that I know more about it and learned about it, I definitely don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, no.
No religion. Yeah, no.
I'm all set with
fucking Muslims
religion.
up in here, bro. Fucking 78 virgins.
Yeah, I don't know that much.
Yo, there's a Arabian chick in my stats class. It's fucking beautiful.
Dude, there's a lot of Asian chicks working at the Rite Aid warehouse.
There's a lot of Asian chicks in my college.
It's fucking crazy.
There is a lot of
everywhere.
Asian chicks at Oswego. The twice that I've been up there, there was a lot of Asian chicks.
Mad Asian chicks.
You know what else we were talking about at work? Fucking simulation theory. One of you guys got all tied up on that.
That was Ethan.
Let's fuck it. Like, think about it. Like, right now, what if we were in a fucking simulation and you just didn't know?
Would it matter?
I don't know, because you wouldn't know. So, it wouldn't matter because you just don't know. You could be in a simulation, you could not be.
Have you ever seen the Matrix movies?
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
They're pretty cool.
Now, imagine if you were in a simulation that was actually in another simulation created by someone in the real world.
I feel like shit would start to get trippy at that point.
The fuck?
He goes, the fuck?
You're in a simulation that's in a simulation.
Yeah, you're in a simulation. Imagine if we were in a
I
simulation
feel like I'm in an episode
that was
of Rick and
created
Morty.
within a simulation that some dude built somewhere in the real world on his fucking laptop.
He's just some fucking old man
Okay,
sitting on his
but,
laptop,
like,
just fucking doing all of this somehow. With
What
fucking
is the
codes.
real world? Is the real world anything like this simulation?
Nah,
Or is he like just thinking up some crazy shit? And
We
that's
don't know
us?
what the real world. They could be all fucking
The
blue
real
and
world
shit out there.
Yeah, the real world could be just like fucking destroyed right now, and then they created this.
No, that's that Matrix shit.
This that's the Matrix stuff. The world's gone to
There was,
shit,
like,
so they
global
created
collapse.
this, and they created the Matrix to make everything fucking better. But it's a fucking simulation, so
Yeah, they made everything better,
Got you
so
there.
here we are, just fucking. I don't know.
Mr. Anderson.
Just a bunch of Okies from Muskogee out here, dude.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of weird theories with the simulation shit. Like, have you ever heard the simulations about the other dimensions? And about other dimensions and like portals to other, like Joe Rogan talks about all the time. Joe Rogan will be like, imagine that there's a theory that says that like all three of us are in this room right now being ourselves talking, but there's an infinite number of us in an infinite number of dimensions doing this exact same thing,
yeah.
but in a different way all
Just like-
throughout
Yeah.
the universe.
Yeah.
It's just slightly different. Each
Yeah.
different one.
I love that.
Rogan's
shit.
just done too much
Yeah.
fucking drugs.
I don't know enough about like the simulation theory and stuff like that, but I love the idea, like all the dimensions and like just the weird ass like crazy
it's
dimension
possible.
shit. Like that exact one that you were talking about, like with the infinite amounts of times that this exact like podcast is happening, but like we took a complete different turn on what we're talking about, or like we all three of us sat in a different order of the chairs. It's just
or you
a
said
little different.
simply, you just said like a different word. You just chose one word that was like just different.
Yeah.
And that's
I think
different.
that's
yeah.
just crazy. I'm intrigued by that kind of stuff. What is that? We got was that the Kennedy shit you got pulled up there?
You
Want to talk about picture of
JFK?
that?
Yo, Griff didn't know anything about the JFK conspiracy.
Neither did I.
No.
I
You
don't
want me to
know.
read through this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Okay, so a lot of people that are going to listen to this are going to know some shit about the JFK thing. So JFK was out there trying to get some shit done in the White House, and he has this wicked, eerie speech. I wish we could play shit because I would just play it for you guys. We can't because they'll flag the video. But JFK has this speech where
Bastards.
he basically like, yeah, dude, are you kidding me? Like, if once I get like 200 followers on this shit, they'll probably demonetize all my shit because of the amount of gross shit we say and swear and stuff. But whatever.
YouTube,
Fuck 'em.
commie,
Fuck 'em.
hippie, queers.
You fucking
this one-
queer.
Are you right over there?
This video is
Dude,
shot.
we-
this podcast is shot.
Yeah,
Demonetized.
dude, they just shut us down right now.
YouTube's a fucking quiz.
No, you're getting your channel suspended, buddy.
Fucking banned, bro. Sorry.
But JFK was warning about like the deep state, secret societies, the military industrial complex, dude, and the powers that be were like, we can't have this shit. So basically, the part that I pulled up says, the assassination of John F. Kennedy, November 22nd, 1963, and the subsequent murder of the prime suspect, Lee Harvey Oswald, by nightclub owner Jack Ruby 2 days later was spurred numerous conspiracy theories. These include accusations of involvement of the CIA, the Mafia, sitting Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson, Cuban Prime Minister Fidel Castro, and the KGB, or some combination thereof.
KGB waits for no
The seriously flawed original FBI investigation and Warren Commission report, as well as the benign CIA cover-up, has led to the claim that U.S. federal government deliberately covered up crucial information in the aftermath of the assassination. Former Los Angeles District Attorney Vincent, how do you say that? Bugliosi estimated that the total of 42 groups, 82 assassins, and 214 people have been accused at one time or another in various conspiracy scenarios. In 1964, the Warren Commission concluded that Oswald was the only person responsible for the assassination of JFK. In 1979, the United States House Select Committee Assassinations concluded that Kennedy was assassinated probably as a result of a conspiracy. The HSCA concluded that a second gunman besides Oswald probably fired at JFK. based on acoustic evidence that was later discredited. In 1998, Assassination Records Review Board unearthed inconsistencies in the prior investigations, and the board's chief analysis for the military records contended that the brain photographs in the Kennedy records are probably not Kennedy's brain. Not of Kennedy's brain. So let's scroll down and see what they have. Public opinion, background, research.
Suppression of evidence.
So supposedly they suppressed evidence, confiscated film and photographs, withheld documents, tampered with evidence.
Boom. Government's corrupt.
Here it is.
This is a big
Here's the
example.
bullet thing. Some researchers have alleged that the various items of the physical evidence have been tampered with, including the single bullet, also known as the magic bullet. By some critics of the official explanations, various bullet cartridges and fragments of the presidential's limousine windshield, the paper bag in which Warren Commission said Oswald hid the rifle, the so-called backyard photograph depicts Oswald holding the rifle, in the Zapruder film, the photographs and radiograph obtained by Kennedy's autopsy, and the president's dead body itself. Zapruder film. Where's the fucking...
So they just rigged up the whole fucking shit just to go along with the story.
Trying to find the conspiracy, the actual conspiracy theory. Here we go. Oh, geez, these are long. Was there one for the... Okay, so there's the conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theorists consider 4 or 5 groups alone in or a combination by the primary suspect assassination of Kennedy. The CIA, the military and industrial complex, organized crime, the government of Cuba, the Cuban exiles, blah, 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 blah.
We need like the Spark Notes version of this shit.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Like a highlight reel.
There's a lot. Just read it as fast as you can.
I can't read all that.
Soon after the assassination... Oh, sorry.
Here we go. So, let's try to skim this one because the rest of these aren't that long.
It's like an article, kind of.
It's just popcorn, read it.
Soon after the assassination of President Kennedy, Oswald activity, blah, blah, spring, summer, 3 days after the assassination, New Orleans attorney David Andrews told the FBI that he received a telephone call from a man named Clay Bertrand on the day of the assassination asking him to defend Oswald. Andrews would later repeat the claim in a testimony in the Warren Commission. Oh, so someone must have wanted this. So this conspiracy is basically saying they planned his death and that they already knew Oswald was going to be the suspect and told him to back him. That's
So this one's still going off the fact that it was just Oswald that shot him, but it's a conspiracy theory that
Yes.
like the government planned his death.
Yeah, and then here's the CIA. This is where it gets wild. So, addressing a speculation that Oswald was a CIA agent or had some relationships with the agency, the Warren Commission stated in 1964 that their investigation revealed no evidence that Oswald was ever an employee of the CIA in any capacity. The House Select Committee on Assassination reportedly similar in 1979 that there was no indication of Oswald. So basically they were denying that Oswald was in the CIA.
I mean, to be fair, the CIA is going to say whatever the fuck
Right.
they want. Doesn't matter if
In
they're lying or not.
1995, former U.S. Army intelligence officer, National Security Agency's executive assistant John M. Newman published evidence that both the CIA and the FBI deliberately tampered with the files of Lee Harvey Oswald, both before and after the assassination. Furthermore, he found that both agencies withheld information that might have alerted authorities in doubts. Oswald posed potential threats. Subsequently, Newman expressed the belief that CIA chief of the counterintelligence, James Angleton, was probably the key figure in the assassination. According to Newman, only Angleton had access to the authority to diabolically, ingeniously mind to manage this sophisticated plot. However, Newman summarized that the cover operation was not under James Angleton, but under Alan Dulles, the former CIA director and the later Warren Commission member who had been dismissed by Kennedy after the failed Bay of Pigs invasion.
Bay of Pigs. Throwback.
They're all
Call of Duty Black
pigs.
Ops.
Oh, did you say Black Ops?
Yeah, they had the story mode.
Shadow
freaking Bay of
government
Pigs shit.
conspiracy. One conspiracy theory suggests that a secret shadow government, including wealthy industrials and right-wing politicians, ordered the assassination of Kennedy. Peter Dale Scott has indicated that Kennedy's death allowed the policy reversals desired by the secret government to escalate the United States military involvement in Vietnam.
What the fuck?
This one just basically states that people wanted Kennedy killed because he was just like, bitches, the military-industrial complex is real, and he wasn't going to have any of it.
He knew too much.
Expose him.
There's a George W. Bush conspiracy. I can't deal. What, do you fucking throw a shoe at him?
Wrong Bush.
But yeah, so there's tons of conspiracies. You can look at those at your leisure. Deep State went over that. Here's fucking more conspiracies. Deaths, economic, Freemasonry.
What about black holes? What do you think about those?
We were talking about black holes at work after you left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have a this is, I think, technically like an uncle. He's a Freemason. Shit's weird.
I think Freemason's just a spot where dudes get together and they just fucking do gay shit together.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
Uncle
that.
David.
Nothing wrong with that, but I feel like
in
it's
the
like,
Masons Club in
listen,
Phoenix.
really,
He's
any
Freemason.
club that doesn't allow women in it, you're in there doing some fucking gay shit. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be honest about it.
They're in there poking.
Oh, yeah, okay,
they're in
I remember
there
that now.
Poking each other's booty holes,
They're fucking plotting
finger
in there,
popping
dude.
each other's assholes.
New World Order. That's what I'm talking about. This is one of the only ones I believe, dude. The New World Order. The New World Order theory
Pretty
states
sure
that
Eminem rapped about that one.
that a group of international elites control governments, industries, and media organizations with the goal of establishing global homogeny, try to make it all one. They're alleged to be implicated in most of the major wars of the last 2 centuries to carry out secretly staged events and to deliberately manipulate economies. Organizations alleged to be part of the plot include Federal Reserve System, the Council of Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, the
Trill homies.
the Bilderberg Group, that's Grizzle, the Bilderberg Group, the European Union, the United Nations, the World Bank, International Monetary Fund, Bohemian Grove. You guys know what Bohemian Grove is?
No.
Oh,
No
God,
Bohemian
dude.
Rhapsody, but that's not the
Dude,
same.
Alex Jones has a DVD where he infiltrates Bohemian Grove. He goes undercover and gets in. So Bohemian Grove is this place. I'll pull it up right now. Bohemian Grove is a restricted 2,700 acre campground located at 20601 Bohemian Avenue in Monte Rio, California, United States, belonging to a private San Francisco-based gentlemen's club known as the Bohemian Club. In mid-July each year, Bohemian Grove hosts more than 2-week encampments of some of the most prominent men in the world.
Gentlemen's
Interesting.
Club.
And
Gay shit, all men.
dude, they do like wicked creepy rituals there and
They
shit.
get in the shower together.
No, dude, like Alex Jones infiltrated that shit, and he has video of them. A bunch of prominent dudes, like Obama's been there and shit, and a bunch of other guys.
Jesus.
They dress up
Sheesh.
in like fucking cloaks, and they like do this. Dude, this is real shit. You can find the DVD. He filmed it. They do a ceremony where they like put something in this little boat
Like some clan shit.
Blood.
on a pond, and they light it on fire, and they push it to this giant statue of an owl that's in the middle of the pond.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, creepy shit. So,
The
like, look, there's
government's
probably a list of
fucked.
dudes that are in here.
Owl, that's OVO Nation.
Listen, members. Listen to these. Listen to those members. Hold on. Symbols. Women. Where are the members at? Hold on.
Walk into that club, just be like, where are the bitches? Who forgot to invite the broads?
Where's the pizza?
He goes, "Where's the fucking pizza?" But
Where's the
George
pizza?
Bush is part of it.
George fucking Bush.
There's a bunch of fucking dudes that are a part of it. I
Where's
wish,
Bill Clinton at? He's got to be in there somewhere.
But yeah, dude. So the
When he's not
Bohemian
on the island
Grove is
diddling
fucking
kids.
creepy. This one's a creepy one. You might not be interested in it, but there's this one. George Soros is like this fucking rich Hungarian investor, and like apparently he like
I've heard
he's
about
Jewish or
I've also
some
heard
shit,
of him.
but he helped the Nazis like round up his own people and all this shit.
Yeah, I heard.
He supposedly
Alex
owns like
Jones
tons of
talk about him a
land.
lot.
Fucking George Soros is a fucking devil in sheep's clothing. God damn it, freaking the fuck out.
Grants totaling an estimated $11 billion up to 2016.
Okay,
That's
so here,
crazy.
I'll read it. Hungarian-American investor George Soros has been the subject of conspiracy theories since the 1990s. Soros is used as well to promote various political, social, educational, and scientific causes. Grants totaling up to an estimated $11 billion up to 2016. However, these theories tend to assert that Soros is in control of a large portion of the world's wealth and governments, and that the secretly funding of a large range of persons and organizations and nefarious purposes such as Antifa. That's a huge one. They think he controls Antifa. The conspiracy theorists claim that
Jeez.
he is a single far-left militant group. Such ideas have been promoted by Donald Trump, Bill O'Reilly, Ray Moore, Alex Jones, Paul Soros, Ben Garrison. Soros conspiracy theories are sometimes linked to anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. There's a video of him saying that, like, if he could go back and do what he supposedly did again, like helping the Nazis round up fucking Jews, he said he would do it again.
That's fucking wild.
What a fucking scumbag. Yeah, you heard of Soros.
You're fucked for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do it again. Kill him.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. The Antichrist. What do you guys think about
racism?
What do you guys think about aliens?
They're real.
You
guys want to elaborate on that?
There's almost no way that they're not real.
Because the fucking universe is that large that there's like an infinite amount of possibilities that there's some sort of other being or creature, whatever you want to call it, out there somewhere on another fucking planet.
Some premium H2O.
So I 100% believe that there's life on other planets, dude, whether we want to go aliens or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, that's whatever. Did you see... Well, you guys don't even fucking read. What the fuck am I talking about? Griff straight up's just like, whenever I say it, do you read books? Do you read it all? Every time I say I was reading something, Griffin just looks at me like I'm a fucking reading retard. Dude,
Who the fuck reads?
Griff goes like this. I don't fucking read.
Yeah, no.
He's the one kid that actually did the book reports in school.
Who?
Evan.
Oh, no, I did not. Dude, listen, I only got out of high school
I did all the
because
book
I was
reports.
decent at sports and wanted to keep playing, and so I did just enough to get out of high school. I didn't become a good student until I went to college. Listen,
Well, because that's
ask
when it
him.
matters.
but ask him. I get hundreds on all my psych papers, right? For the most part, I had to teach myself how to do a paper when I got to school. Doc taught me how to write a paper.
No, this is the part that makes people mad is that all through high school, I never read a book for like a book report or for a project or anything in class.
Reader, bro.
I never read it.
Fuck it.
But guess what? I did all of the projects and wrote all of the papers and still made 90s.
That's some fucking
I'm just
shit if I
a
ever did it.
wizard. I listen to what they talk about in class about the
common
book,
sense.
and I just piece it together for the paper. Like I can just pick up the information for when they tell it to me. I'm not gonna bother reading it.
Spark notes.
Well, what I was alluding to was they did like some sort of crazy sit down and they were getting to the bottom. Like they're thinking that if the universe is really as big as it is, that it's statistically impossible for us to meet aliens within like so many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's too much out there, and like the universe doesn't end, so there's no way that like we just happen to be the one lucky set of bastards that are life.
Hello, fucking Jesus Christ, there's nothing outside the planet, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody came from Adam and
Jesus
Eve.
Christ, fake as shit.
Jesus Christ, am I right?
How dare you? These dudes disrespectful over here. Yeah, of course I believe in extraterrestrial life, dude. When are we going to Mars, bro?
There's probably some shit out there that's way smarter than us.
How about those fucking idiots buying one-way tickets to Mars?
Why not, dude?
Because you're gonna die.
Fuck it. Listen,
All right,
a
fuck it,
wise
then.
man once said, if you're walking on ice, you might as well dance, huh?
I guess. I mean,
Yeah, but you're paying a shit ton of money just to
How much
fucking
are
I'm
they?
probably
die.
not walking
How
on
much are
ice
they?
to begin with.
I don't know. I haven't looked them up, but it's got to be a lot of money, dude. You're in a fucking spaceship going to Mars.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know what that reminded me of when we're talking about walking on ice? Reminds me of the time I used to work in McLean's Northeast, right? And there's this
Yeah.
road called like 60-something road.
60 road, yeah.
60
Yep.
road. It goes to McLean. You guys know. You
Yep.
guys live out in that
Oh,
neck
yeah.
of the woods.
yeah.
Right in your backyard.
out
and
there in
shit.
the boondocks.
So, you know how you go down 60 road?
60, yep.
You go down 60 road, you know how once you literally get like 50 feet down that road going towards McLean's, on the
Yeah.
right-hand side, there's that home that has the pond.
Yep.
I was driving by there the wintertime, and this is how, like, people can say what they want. I'm not a big dog fan, right? But it was like starting to thaw out. It was still wintertime, but that thing was starting to thaw out. You could see like it wasn't real thick.
Yeah.
Dude, their dog was out on the ice.
Sheesh.
Dude, it was like right in the middle, and that shit looked like it was like 2 seconds for the
Yeah.
dog falling in, and the dog was just staying still. And I'm thinking to myself, is the dog like thinking this shit's gonna crack? Is that why it's not moving?
That's
or whatever?
why the dog's out there.
Just chilling.
Crazy pupper.
The dog's
right?
like, fucking
Dog's
break.
like, fuck, I can't move.
He's like, I got out here and now I'm gonna die.
And now I'm gonna die. So what do? Like a fucking dumbass. I slow down and I park and I waited there because if that dog would have gone in, I was gonna get out
for sure.
and fucking put my life on the line to save that husky.
I'll fucking
No.
die,
And dude, I literally sat there.
Especially if it's a fucking husky,
Dude, it was blizzarding, and I sat there, and the dog's just like looking around, and I'm like, "Please,
the
bro,
dog's
like,
sitting there looking at you.
please walk off the ice." And then eventually he turned and walked off the ice, and I was like,
I definitely would have done the same shit.
because that would have
Well,
sucked.
that reminded me.
If it was a cat, I don't stop. If it's a
How
dog, I
fucking
stop.
dare you? Don't make me bring Rudy in here right now,
That
dude.
reminded me though, Griffin.
I want to meet that little guy.
Back at Branningham, our camp, when Coda went out there back on the the
our
river.
our dog was a psychopath.
Yeah, there's
She
like
that shit. She ran out. It's like a big ass like creek that like
creek river. Yeah,
it
whatever.
flows
Crick?
pretty heavy.
Crick.
But the shore during the wintertime when it gets real cold does start to freeze up, like I'd say 10, 15 feet out into like the stream.
Yep.
And our dog was wild. She used to run on the ice along the shore, and she'd go all the way out to the edge where the ice meets the water.
Yep.
And like it's thin as hell. Like that shit's about to break, and she's just out there like standing there. It started to crack underneath her one time.
Yeah.
She like we're young, so we started shitting our pants, screaming for the dog.
We were
And,
like slowly walking towards her, but then when we knew like, oh, the ice is getting too thin, we
Yeah.
can't keep walking.
the ice
We were
started
calling her,
cracking
and she was
out
just
from
being a
underneath her.
dumbass, not moving.
Yeah, she had to jump from like a cracking piece that was like sinking onto like more solid ice. She was fucking crazy. Had to do some ninja shit real quick.
Psycho dog.
Dude, shifting gears. I went out yesterday night. Was it yesterday night? I can't remember. I could never remember what day. It wasn't really like a date or anything like that, but
It was just a date.
I was just out with a friend.
Just chilling.
Just went out for dinner. You know.
Sometimes it'd be that way.
So, but I went out, dude, and I was at the Sting, the bar, and I just hadn't been to like a legit bar like that out in Oswego since I was like bouncing. And I got to the Sting, and I used to work there for almost a year.
Yeah.
And I was just standing there with my friend, and I was like, oh God, I was like feeling like it just brought back so many memories. The college kids were out, and we're both like, here they come. The college kids go storming down the fucking street, going to all the bars, dude. And I was laughing because I'm getting to a point now where I'm not old, right? But I'm getting to a point now where a decade of adulthood has gone by for me. It's about to go by for, well, no, it has gone. It's 11 years of being an adult has gone by. And you definitely look back when you're like 18, when you experience it and it's brand new. Like all the stuff that you guys are experiencing right now, going out and doing, I kind of did all that, and I kind of just got all that shit out of my system already. Mm-hmm. But it's just funny to stand there and watch like young kids, like they all moved to Oswego, they're in the dorms, got their apartments, now they're all trudged out to the bar to the first week out at the bars. This shit was cool to just watch the kids run around and, you know, fucking.
Fuck's cool.
Yeah, just fucking rub their fucking genitals on each other and shit. It's just fucking funny, dude. Yo, you want to hear some funny stories from fucking bouncing and shit?
Sure.
Dude, did I tell you a story, Griff, when Jake and I left the Sting one night and that kid had that girl up against the wall?
Oh.
This dude's
I don't
making
know.
out with this girl across the street, right? And she got, yo, these stories are so bad. So we come out the bar, and I wasn't working, but Jake and I were like bar hopping. We leave the Sting. There's a building right across the Sting, and this kid and this girl are up against the wall making out. And they're drunk, and they're making out. Like, they're not even making, like, actually making perfect mouth contact. They're kind of just like, looking at each other's faces and shit.
Slobbering on each
Dude,
other.
and this girl had a sundress on.
Oh, jeez.
And this dude.
Shit right all the way up.
Dude, no, this dude was trying to
he was
like
up in
he was
there,
trying to
wasn't he?
play with her, right?
Ah, okay.
In public, like
Pitter
people around.
patter,
No,
let's
he's
get at
literally
her.
not even.
Get in there!
Listen. This kid's not even like lift her sundress, and she's asking for it. She's like, do it, and all this shit, right? And he's not even like lifting her sundress and going into her undergarments if she even had any on.
Yeah.
He just goes like this. This kid starts to say, fuck it, cut the middleman out. He just finds the crease of her fucking vagina, and he just creates a karate chop. And he just starts going like this, like, so how you can do it, dude?
Cut your head, bitch.
He's trying to cut the bitch in half.
Fucking funny.
That's
He was just
funny
like,
as fuck.
and she's just going, oh, like just fucking taking it, dude.
You just gotta work it.
And Jake and I just go, and we just point at them, and the dude turns, he looks, and he's going,
He gives you the fucking
Just-
nod. He's like,
dude, there's
working it.
there's another night when I'm bouncing at Club Crystals, and it was dead, and there's just a small group of people there dancing, and my buddy Nick's with me. And this dude all night is trying to like dance on this broad. She wouldn't let him. He's trying to dance on her. She wouldn't let him. All of a sudden, the end of the night comes and she's grinding on him, and he's got his hands down her pants, and he's all in her snatch, and she's just like this. And when he sees that we see that he's finally in there, he looks right at me and Nick, and he just goes. And he had a grill on.
that's funny as fuck.
And looks at me and Nick, and me and Nick are like, oh, point at him. He's like, yeah, buddy. Dude, I've seen so much crazy shit, dude, out of those bars.
That's awesome.
Been in so many, like, ridiculous fucking fights and shit, throwing people out. Like, you have no idea, dude. Wait till you guys turn 21 and you start going out. The shit you will fucking see. The shit you will fucking see. What did we say we were going to do for your 21st birthday, Griff?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Cormant. Suicide, right?
What?
He's gonna kill himself for his 21st birthday.
What? We all started looking at each other.
I was like, what the fuck
No, I
is this guy
said, what
saying
did we
right
say
now?
we should do for your 21st? We said we should do something. I forgot what it was.
I
We're
don't
talking about it at
know.
work.
You go to the Woosha.
Hell no.
Go to the
So-
go to the fucking Beano, get hammered out there. I can't remember. I do remember like we had a conversation about it. I just cannot remember what.
Forgot what it was, dude. I think we said we would all go out or something.
Yeah,
Not sure.
I gotta figure out. I don't even drink that much.
He's a fucking liar.
I really don't.
I only do heroin.
Okay. Yo, speaking of that, the fucking crack house down the street lit on fire, dude. It
I'm
was
on
glorious.
the H.
Is that why the power was out?
Damn. Wait, the one.
This was the other day. The blue one?
The one just up the road.
Yeah, the blue one up the road.
Damn,
the
where am I
crack
gonna
house?
get my shit?
Dude, I know. It fucking lit on fire. Too
God
many.
damn.
Dude, they were running extension cords out of the top of the house down to
No-
like the ground
What?
somewhere.
No
Like,
wonder the
yeah,
plug
it's like
ain't hit me
fuck-
back.
There's a house like 3 blocks down on
Yeah.
the left. There's a blue house. It's a straight like fucking crack house,
Oh, jeez.
like a heroin house. And it's like all poor people congregate down there.
Yep.
And it literally was getting to
Those
the
are
point
my
where people
friends,
were
bro.
like complaining and being, we need to get this place, we need to clean it up and all that.
Blow it up.
I drove by there a couple weeks ago and I said to my mother, I go, yo, there's extension cords coming out of the top windows.
That's fucked.
And they're
Some real
running.
crackhead
Dude,
shit.
the extension cords are running somewhere that I can't tell where
Into
they're
the
going.
basement, the meth lab.
I don't know if they're going into the basement or the house next door, but they're getting power from someone
Oh
else.
shit, they're robbing
jeez.
power
Dude,
off
it is
the next
great.
house.
And dude, the house caught on fire up top. So like they probably ran like a bajillion extension cords, maybe a space heat or something. That shit blew
Yeah.
up.
All the way through the house.
Just extension cords into extension cords into extension cords.
You got mad iPhone 3s plugged in.
What's better than that? I drove by there yesterday and they have all this caution tape up all over it, dude. I watched someone come out of the back door of the building and just lift the tape up and duck under the tape and just walk out of the house. There's
Jesus.
people still
Jesus
in
Christ,
there.
There's mad crack.
Dude, there's people
They gotta get their
still in
leftover
there.
crack that's just
oh
got
my
cooked.
god.
Cooked
There's
crack.
people still in that bitch, dude. There's a lot of drugs around here, man.
I am so glad. Like Phoenix is actually kind of like Main Street and shit's starting to kind of clean up. Like there was
Phoenix?
there was some mad crackheads like on
There
Main
were.
Street, but like it's getting a little better. I don't know.
Dude,
We just got mad punk ass teenagers running around.
That's a fact.
yo, dude, you're here's another funny story from bouncing. I told Griff this story. I think I broke my foot really bad at one point, right? And the doctor goes, "You need to get out and start walking on your foot now with your physical therapy and all shit." So he goes, "Get out and start walking." I go, "Okay." So what do? I'm in my fucking walking boot. They gave me a special boot for when the cast came off.
Yep.
We go to Harborfest, like me and my boys in
Oh,
a group, and I'm just
Jesus.
walking around with my boot. You know where the sub shop is up in Oswego?
The Oswego
think so,
sub shop.
yeah.
Yep, the Oswego sub shop.
Yeah, that place got mad good chicken wings.
I've never eaten there. I heard it's really good.
Chicken wings are fire.
So I'm walking by the sub shop with my buddies. I'm limping along in my walking boot. The rest of my buddies are with my buddy. One of my best friends is with me, my buddy Jay. And all of a sudden, we see an argument. We're across from the sub shop. We see a fucking argument go down.
Fuck you.
And I'm telling you, like, Griffin's like, oh, I really think about training and want to learn, like, how to punch. I told him, I'm like, you don't have to be, like, super fast, super strong, and all that stuff. You can learn the basics in, like, a year. And, like, I've seen small dudes that aren't that powerful fucking knock people the fuck out. Mm-hmm. But this kid, this might have been the craziest thing I've ever seen in all fighting. We're out there, and these people start arguing. There's a crowd of, like, 30 people out front of the sub shop. People are like, whatever. All these dudes surround this kid. He's, like, 5'8" at the most, probably $150. He's in decent shape. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, he hauls off and hits a kid, dude, and it was literally like he was knocking their fucking souls out of their body. He hits this dude who's like my size. He goes,
that's crazy.
Bap, across the chin. This dude just went like this, stiffened up, fell forward, and he hit the ground so hard, the dust just goes poof out of the grass.
That's fucking crazy.
So that dude goes down, and his girlfriend just goes,
my dude's got a cannon.
Starts fucking screaming, right?
She's like, my boyfriend's a bitch.
No, she's like, my boyfriend's fucking dead, right? And he's like, you ever see when Manny
saw his brain.
You ever see when Manny Pacquiao knocked out Marquez?
No.
Dude, it was worse than that. He knocks his kid stiff. Kid goes face first, dust pops up, right?
Yeah.
Then his boy goes, what the fuck? And goes after him, snuffs the next dude. That dude hits that dude once, shuts his lights off. That dude goes face down in the fucking dirt.
That's fucking insane.
Then a third dude comes, starts swinging at him, dude. He makes dude miss a couple times. Bap, hits that dude. That dude goes down.
Then he starts hitting the girlfriends.
No, then a mob started to build, and they wanted to fucking kill this kid. And he ran across the street. There was a car dealer across the street at the time.
Yeah.
He runs right by us, and then the mob runs right by us, and we're just like, oh, just like
oh shit!
The kid runs amongst all these cars. All of a sudden, you hear, and someone else goes down. Kid sprints up the street, dude. He knocked like 4 people out.
That's fucking.
He knocked dudes down and out until they caught him up the street. We watched them run up a street for a block.
Yeah, didn't they beat the fucking life out of that kid? He was in the
news because they almost killed him. 12 kids chased him up the street. Dude, they were in the street beating the shit out of him. It took 12 dudes to beat the shit out of him because if they all kept going one-on-one, they probably would have all died. I mean, the cops had to ride up there on their 4-wheelers, dude. The cops roll up on us and go, what's going on? We're like, dude, up there, save that kid. The cops go, brrr. They ride up there. But, dude, that kid was throwing fucking death bombs on people. He hit that first dude and his girlfriend screamed, and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, you ever see the movie?
No shit.
You ever see the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No.
Oh, my fucking God. It's my favorite movies.
I've not seen all these movies.
Well, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is this movie that takes place in like the real world in the Looney Tunes universe. It basically a murder happens and they send Bob Haskins to go investigate the murder. He's got to go into Toontown, and Roger Rabbit is the one of the guys that's caught up in the murder.
That, yeah.
Our grandmother used to own that.
Dude, I love that movie.
That
well, there's these bad guys in it called the Weasels, and at one point the Weasels all let Roger and Haskins fight the Weasels, and they end up killing all of them. In the Weasels, you see their souls come out of their bodies. They die, and they do funny things and fly away to heaven and shit. Like, yo, it was like that, dude. He was just fucking knocking. If you had a soul, dude, if those dude had souls, he fucking just knocked them out of their bodies. It was bad. I've never seen people get hit like that in real life. I've seen so many fights, training, all that other stuff. I've never seen people get hit like that and go down in my life. That kid was like this big.
That's crazy.
It was nuts. We hit that first one, his girl's face. She goes, your man's on the ground dead.
Your man's dead, honey.
Yeah, find a new one.
You better call that boy a bus.
Dude, it was fucking ridiculous. Not much crazy shit going on in the mean streets of Phoenix, huh?
No,
not really.
Just a bunch of pussy ass like teenage dudes running around.
Yeah, bitch ass teenagers that think that they're fucking tough shit.
They all walk around wearing red. Their pants around their ankles.
I'll fucking hit them with my car.
Yeah, your brother just gets bullied out there. Don't make me send Kyle Lapine over your house.
Yeah, Kyle Lapine run him down.
Dude, Kyle was popular.
Yep, most popular.
I'm just gonna hire him to just sit in my house and just play music 24/7.
Dude, listen, Kyle's the fucking man. Kyle is the fucking man. Don't even get me started. I'll have Kyle come over here right now.
He probably won't hit you back.
No, that's his new thing. He gets uppity with me like he's my girlfriend that I'm breaking up with.
He don't know nobody.
So what do you guys think about ghosts?
Ghosts. I have a.
Good. This is what I wanted. You guys kind of believe in some ghostly shit, don't you?
No, I have a hard time.
Look
with
at these
ghosts.
dudes. These are like squirming.
Ghosts are like Bigfoot.
Whoa.
Ghosts are like Bigfoot.
No, they're
You
not. No, they're not.
You can't prove to me that it's not real, but you can't really prove that they are.
No,
real.
I can prove to you ghosts aren't real.
Can you?
Yeah.
You can
No, you
100% say that ghosts
Yeah,
aren't
because
real.
they ain't fucking real.
You can't 100% say that though.
So what experience, you say that, like, you have experiences, like, I'm a firm believer that under the right circumstances, first off, let's keep it a buck here. You guys experiment. I'm sure you guys have seen some shit you thought was a ghost.
No.
Because I have.
Yep.
I have.
For sure.
Griff with the fucking vape thing. I fucking lost my mind with that shit.
What was that?
I was fucking seeing demons that night, dude. No, so how do you feel about ghosts?
I've never personally had like an encounter like people talk about with like ghostly shit, but I can't say that they're not real.
Okay, we could say that about almost anything. Like, I used to always say I was atheist, but the absence of evidence isn't the evidence of absence. Like, we can't prove that it's not real, but we can prove that it can.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But
like,
if you had to choose, what, have you had experiences? Have you seen anything? Is there something that's gone on to make you feel that way? Because personally, ghosts for me is one of those things I will look someone in the eyes and be like, this shit ain't fucking real.
If I had to choose, I'd definitely go with the fact that ghosts are not real. I'm definitely a more science.
Ooh, your brother's like,
I'm definitely
I
more.
see dead people.
I'm more of a science-based
all the time.
person, and I think all these people with all their like
What do you think,
experiences of ghosts, you can disprove it.
I don't know.
He's about to tell us a weird fucking story right now.
No, I mean...
So this ghost was in my asshole last night.
Yeah.
This one time I had my shirt up over my head and I was masturbating.
I woke up on my fucking hands and knees, my shirt was over my face, and my shorts were around my ankles. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I felt this fucking pain in my ass. And I was
Ghosts.
like, yo, what the fuck?
So what do you think about
No,
those?
I don't know. I mean, people have fucking, like, souls, but, like...
Oh, so you think people
Do
have
we?
souls?
Oh, yeah, I think
So
that
you're
people have
religious.
souls, but... No.
Well, you're pulling hair. You're pulling straws here.
I just think that because there's our physical form,
This is deep. This is
But
this,
then-
this is what I'm liking.
but then there's also like your conscious, which is your soul, basically.
So you think things that we deem to think part of our brain activity and structure are your souls?
Yeah.
So is that what you think the
You see
subconscious?
soul-
So is that what you think the subconscious might be? A spirit, a soul?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we don't know what the subconscious is. We technically there's so many theories as to what consciousness is that we technically don't know what our consciousnesses are. Really, in theory, we know that
Yeah.
the brains, our bodies, and the brain is like an electrical circuit board. But
And your soul is what makes it electrical. It gives it that fucking energy.
do you
In
believe
order
we
to
go
give
somewhere
you
when we
thoughts.
die?
That's where ghosts
When
come
I
in.
get where I'm going.
If you don't go anywhere, you're in this void,
On
which
the
is the
far
ghost.
side of the
You know?
sky.
I don't know.
First
See,
thing
maybe.
that I'm gonna do.
like scientifically,
spread
I would
my
want to. I
wings
would want
and
to say
fly.
that like we don't go anywhere. Like shit, it's just over.
Yeah,
but
I
like,
think it's just
I
black.
don't want to think that. I'd like
I
to
don't
think that maybe
He's
there's
like,
something.
no.
I'd like to think that there's maybe something like cool that
Okay,
happens after you die.
So
like
to play devil's advocate, to be fair to the argument, the
I want to
only
haunt somebody.
something that Joe says all the time is, he goes, everything's made up of energy, and he's like, do you think that maybe your essence, the energy of what makes you a living being, could somehow manifest into the, the ether, like into like the into the universe, and maybe like manifest itself as an apparition? I feel like if
Not
you're
that.
gonna try to explain
that.
ghosts, that's probably the only thing, in my opinion, that you could try. But I don't buy that either.
No, I feel
buy
like if you're
that.
gonna
Because I'll wait.
if you're gonna go with the whole energy thing, I think you could just say that like when you die, like your energy just kind of like disperses into
Displaces.
the world or like the universe itself. Like you don't necessarily become anything; you just kind of like dissolve into everything else.
You become a part of nothing. We're all here.
That's
for
what I
fucking
think.
Or
nothing.
you becoming a part of everything.
well, here's the thing. That leads me to the next thing. Here's my theory on ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts.
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbuster.
I don't believe in ghosts because I just feel as though okay. When the 23rd strikes, I'm going to be 29. In 29 years of living, I've never fucking experienced any shit like that. But yet I know fucking people that are like 12 that are like, I fucking seen some shit, bro.
There's a difference between a hallucination and then thinking you saw a ghost. You have obviously hallucinated, but that doesn't mean that you think you've seen ghosts.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, even when how many times have I hallucinated? Probably twice my whole life.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, in a normal, clear state of mind, I've never had any experiences that a lot of other people I know have experiences. You would think in 29 years of being alive, I'd have a ghost try to fucking finger my ass or some shit. I don't know, dude.
Big facts, I wish a ghost would try to finger my ass.
You know what I'm saying, though?
I've never had my asshole fingered before.
Yo, wicked crazy.
Shout out my boys, Green Bay Packers. Sitting on the bench talking that gay shit.
Nate called me one night, because Nate believes in ghosts. Nate freaked out and called me one night. He goes, dude. I'm like, what? He goes, dude, I had to call you. I seen some shit. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I was driving by Pizza Hut in Fulton. He goes,
Can I get that pizza?
and when I looked up, I seen this weird, creepy, like, fire orb thing in the sky. He's
Light
like,
reflection
That's
off of
the sun,
something.
buddy.
dude, it was great. And he goes, no, he said it was floating by, like, the telephone lines.
Jeez.
Or something like that. He said it was like, it wasn't that high off the ground.
light?
The light off of the
But
telephone.
no, he goes, Court seen it too. He's like, I got a eyewitness.
Lay off
And
the
he was like
crack.
serious. He called me about it. Another time he called me because he said he was laying in bed. And Court was like in the bathroom or whatever, doing whatever. And he was like laying there and he fell back asleep. And then he said it felt like something palmed his shoulder and like hit him. And he would like went like this with Court. Like thinking Court was like trying to wake him up or something. She goes, I'm in the bathroom, and all of a sudden he's like,
I'm in the bathroom. I'm not gonna lie. Like if that kind of shit actually happened to me, I'd be like, "What the fuck,
dude?
Like,
I can get up and pull my dick out.
yeah, be like, "Who wants it?" Start swinging it.
Like, dude, like, so there's a place. It's supposed to be the most haunted place in New York.
Let's go.
You can what is it? What was it? You pay for a waiver.
You sign the waiver.
Sign the waiver, and you can stay the night. It's like got hotel rooms in it and shit. My
Yeah,
buddy
no,
Mike and I
I
are
don't fuck
so
with that.
down. I go, I'll bring my PlayStation, Little Caesars
not
pizza,
me.
dude.
No, that's
Let's
some
go.
crazy shit. No.
I'll bring some knives. That way, if I get possessed,
The
I just
fuck?
kill myself.
Yeah.
Look at these dudes.
I'm bringing,
Fuck no.
I'm bringing the
Fuck that,
fucking
dude.
blicky because I want to put myself out of the misery.
So you were saying, like, if it's nothing, like, how do you guys actually feel about, like, the fact that we're alive and cognizant? Like, do you think life has meaning? Do you
No.
not? Like,
No meaning.
how do you, like, what is your philosophy on the world
You
of
go-
life?
you
Like, how
go-
do you feel about shit?
You go your entire life every single day thinking that like there's no meaning, or do you just go into like autopilot and you don't really think about it?
The fluke chance that humans were here is just so small as the fact that, all right, we're here now. Now what do we do?
It doesn't matter how we got here, or the chances of how we got here.
I know, but like
now that we are here,
we're just doing whatever the fuck we want.
Don't even-
There's not really a
because
point to
there's-
us doing anything. It's not going to make a bigger difference than anything else out there.
okay.
It's
So
just-
as
it's
Evan
all
made a
for
point
nothing.
earlier at work, okay, so you're looking like big picture, like the whole
Yeah,
universe,
we're
everything.
doing literally nothing.
But look at it from like this planet, like just the world. Like, do you think we as people like have some sort of like impact? Does our individual lives matter? I guess.
Does what we do matter? What I was saying to Griffin at work was, look at all the organisms on the planet, right, that we know of. Like, everything from microscopic organisms all the way up to us, right?
Yep.
Now, there is a little bit of a debate out as far as, like, higher intelligence in some animals. Like, there are certain...
Monkeys.
Well, there's certain animals I think we shouldn't be killing. Probably, like, certain monkeys and, like, apes.
Okay,
Because they're
let's,
smart as fuck.
let's be
Elephants.
we just shouldn't be killing most any animals at all.
Well, I mean, if you're
Facts.
hunting them, that's fine
yeah,
to eat.
other than for the purposes
Yeah,
of consuming,
consuming them, then yeah.
we shouldn't just be going
But
around killing animals.
Taking
Trophy
it a step
hunting's fucked.
further, there's definitely a couple animals like porpoises and elephants that show higher intelligence than most
Highly
animals.
Did you say
intelligent.
porpoise?
Like dolphins and whales.
Oh,
They're
okay.
extremely
Yeah.
intelligent.
Dolphins.
Like, yeah, like what is it? Dude, they think the elephants can like display emotion and shit. So especially when a creature's super intelligent, you should probably not even be killing it all, even if you're trying to consume it.
No.
Right? So
Fortunately
What
for us,
I'm-
most
what I'm
of the
pointing
animals
at
that
is,
we
I come from the
kill to
point of
consume
view that-
aren't that smart.
we're in a shitty situation, to be honest with you, as human beings. In a lot of ways, you can look. It's not a shitty situation. It's just a weird dichotomy. We're definitely still animals. We still have biological drives and needs. Like, you want to fuck, eat, survive, sleep, all these other things. Like, most people feel compelled to, like, find someone to mate and fucking have kids with, right? But at the same time, on the flip side, we're also one of the only creatures that, at least, let's say we're the only creature that knows that we're cognizant.
Yeah.
We can fight our biology. We know we exist, and we have questions like, it was, how did we get here? Is there a God or not? All these other things. You can on multiple different levels think about this universe and this world and what it all stands for. And almost every other animal is like we're animals, but almost every other animal is like an automaton. They just they only know survival and they don't question it.
Sometimes it seems like people are literally just too cognitive for their own good. Like, sometimes it's not like good for your mental health. How cognitive you are of like what life is and like how that can affect like certain things. With like, we have a big problem with killing animals because there's so many people that are cognitive of life that they absolutely dread the idea of taking the life from another living thing. But it's hard because then there's people that obviously don't like to grasp the idea of like what life really means, or they just don't understand it at all. They'll kill animals like that. They don't really care. They don't necessarily think about it on a level that a lot of people are now.
And so the reason why I say, I used to think when I was younger that it doesn't matter. Like, it's all meaningless. It's all bullshit. Now,
and I for sure thought that same way
in
for a
the
while.
grand scheme of things. Like, if you're talking the grand scheme of things, the universe.
Yeah,
it's
all bullshit.
Even the planet's meaningless. But here's the thing. We're human beings, and we're emotionally and socially connective creatures. We're cognizant of the fact that we're alive, and we move around in this world, and little thing we do affects everyone. We create these like social networks. Life is tough for almost absolute. I love these people that think just because you got money, like you don't have problems. Almost everyone has a problem on some sort of level.
More problems.
Well, yeah.
To be fair, money helps. Money can help a lot of your actual like stress-related problems. Yeah. I feel like it takes away a lot of stress on a person if you have
because
money.
You're comfortable and you don't have to worry about your bills being paid. Yeah. But basically, what I'm saying is, you build relationships in life. I'm of the opinion that most of your happiness is derived from how healthy the relationships are.
We should be caring and relying more on our relationships and human interactions more so than like who's got money and what money can get you.
Everything that you do should be meaningful, because it's not just your existence for the next 80 years that you have to worry about. Everything you do in life impacts all the people that care about you, and vice versa. And with social media now, you're one person away from 100 and 100 away from 100,000, 100,000 away from fucking 10 million. Mm-hmm. Like, we feel like
everybody has the potential to like create like positive impact and like do something meaningful. We're connected to each other in these emotional ways, these social ways. We build relationships and bonds with people. For example, in a short period of time, you two have become good friends with me. Yeah. I care what goes on in your lives, and I want you guys to be happy, and I want you guys to just go do whatever you wanted to do and make mistakes and do whatever and experience everything that goes on in the human condition. I think we, like, as human beings, we owe it to ourselves to try to make ourselves the best we can be and have as much fun as we can and be there for one another, because we're cognizant of this fucking world. Everything matters. Everything we do do yourself a favor and just do meaningful things.
Yeah,
like,
the key is trying to find what's meaningful to you.
Yeah.
Find the things in this world that you find meaningful. Build a better life for yourself.
Don't be negative and don't just scrape by.
Yeah, and you could do it like if you think just like let's say like if we all decided tomorrow we just wanted to fucking work just crap jobs the rest of our life and just drink and fucking hang out, play video games, fine, as long as we're happy. But what I'm saying is like, the fact that you're only on this planet for such a short period of time, and there is a friggin' deep multitude of beautiful things that go on this
Why
world.
not do something better for yourself?
Why not pursue shit and go about shit like everything matters?
Yeah. Really take a look at yourself and figure out what's gonna like make you happy, what can fulfill you as a human being the most.
And it's like we
And
know
then
we
pursue it.
die.
Yeah.
We know we die. We know we leave this like meat vehicle someday.
Our souls.
But whether
Whatever way you want to believe in it.
whether we die or not,
But we
like
know
we're here for most people
we're
are here for
a
quite a
little bit.
while. Like you might as well do something good with it.
I think based off what you want out of this world, everything matters. It's just to what extent do you think it matters?
Yeah.
And trust me, like if you don't put responsibilities on yourself and make things important and make shit matter, dude, it doesn't just affect you, it affects everything else. It affects everyone else. What do you want to be? Like fucking miserable all the time? And fucking shit, why am I doing this? Shit fucking sucks.
Nobody
and like,
wants to be
fucking-
around the miserable guy.
Yeah, dude, it's like I think everything matters. You have to have a level of not giving a fuck though. Like everything
Yeah.
matters, but you can't stress yourself out. You got to have
Yeah.
like this level.
It can't
of,
matter too much.
You got to sometimes sit back and just live in the present. And just be like,
Yeah.
fucking,
Take a chill pill.
take a fucking chill pill. My boy Adam needs to take a fucking chill pill. He's fucking on some fucking crazy shit.
What, that co-stanks?
Yeah, my boy Cole's Danks, dude. I just got on the thing with him earlier. He was like, well, this and that. This is how this works. This could be interesting. But yeah, like, when you really think about it, like, the human condition, it's important. It's an important thing on the small scale. We should act like we should move in the world as if everything's important. Everything fucking matters. It's like we all know it ends someday. Why not try to make your stay on this rock as good as you could possibly make it for yourself and other people? That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Do a little cocaine along the way.
I'm down to try some cocaine. You guys want to go down the street or what? I mean,
Yo, that crack house down the road probably has some fucking shit in it.
Yeah. R.I.P. the homies.
No, they're still in there.
Like roaches, the
Like, yeah.
crackheads always
Oh,
live.
Dude, for real. Dude, it's bad. What else we got on here?
Crackheads live on.
Okay, so you guys wanted to talk about it. Bigfoot.
Fucking
I have a
Bigfoot.
I have a solid theory on Bigfoot, and then it's
not real.
It's not real.
No, being completely honest, he's probably not real. Like, how much I would fucking love to find out that there's freaking Bigfoots running around on the planet. It's just probably not real. Like, you would definitely know.
We would've found it
like
by
thermal imaging and shit. You can see deep down into the earth. Like, you'd fucking know if Bigfoot was out there. That's a large
They
unit.
have new radar type imaging shit where like they could see mice running around in caves underground.
There's no way you're missing a
And I
Bigfoot.
love these people like the forest is so thick. The Pacific, it's like this dick is thick. Shut
The
up.
floor
We
is
would've found
lava.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, no matter how
Floor is lava.
no matter how thick the forest is, like the trees aren't giving up enough heat to be able to conceal a fucking Bigfoot.
You know what I want to do sometimes?
That's a massive like
Speaking of plants,
orangutan.
Black tar heroin.
speaking of plants, I want to spam that video to all like the vegetarian and vegan people that act like plants aren't living things and shit. Plants know when they're being harmed and shit. You ever see that video where the dude shows he puts these electrodes and all this stuff and rigs the plants up so you can see what they're sensing, and he sprays like warm water on them and cold water and other things on them, and dude, they know when they're being harmed and shit, and they change their chemical composition and they tense up and shit.
I feel like that's just got to be like
plants are fucking living things,
like
bro.
just a biological like survival
It
thing,
is.
because like they're definitely there's no way
They're not cognizant.
Yeah,
No.
It's
But they're
it's
still
not like
living
they're
things.
They're not like, oh no, me,
They
I'm
know
gonna
when they're
die.
being threatened.
Yeah, but
They have that brain, but it's not as
still not
advanced as
it's
ours.
still not
It
the
just
same
has
as the way we
basic
kill animals.
function.
Which, don't get me wrong, slaughter all the like chickens and cows you want. I'm eating burgers, steaks. I'm eating chicken
Dude,
wings.
meat's
Like
good.
like some lives are meant to be
We're out
sacrificed.
on
I guess.
Bigfoot, huh? We're all out on Bigfoot.
Cannibalism.
Yeah,
where
it's
at.
just that one's pretty simple. You can't really argue that. That's like flat Earth. Like
What about
it's just
AI?
not real.
Nobody else heard what I said.
AI is dangerous. Should not really
Should
fuck
not
with
exist.
it. No,
But do you?
we're not that smart. Computers are going to be smarter.
Watch the movie Transcendence.
People are not that smart.
That-
No, but like,
that'll give you an
how
eye
far
opener.
off do you think AI really is? Because since I've been alive, there's been two different windows where they're like, it's coming this time, and it didn't.
How far is it out from like what?
Like Elon Musk was like, we'll
Just
have AI in 10
inserting it
years.
into like everyday life, like you'll be dealing with AI or
I don't know, like the
100
dangerous
years.
fucking AI. Like,
Oh,
like,
it-
ooh, it's
100
cool.
years.
like the boiling point. I think we're quite a ways from like a point where like we have to think about like trying to figure out how to get rid of AI.
You're going to be getting your computer all done up soon, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping
wanna-
within like the next 2 months probably.
You want to play a creepy fucking game, dude? Play System Shock on your PC.
System Shock?
It's like,
I think I've heard
you
of
ever
that.
played Bioshock?
Is that the one?
Bioshock, supposedly Bioshock ripped off some of their plot.
The
and
game
kinda
I don't know,
all-
maybe.
is like
So you play as this dude.
self-aware computer. Or
You know,
something?
you play as
Huh?
this dude
What?
on a spaceship, and the whole entire spaceship's controlled by an AI that's trying to kill you.
Oh shit, that
Yeah,
sounds
dude.
fucking awesome.
It's wild. The original System Shock and System Shock 2, they're older games, but you can get them on PC.
Okay.
So you have to deal with the graphics being old, but you can get them
Yeah.
remastered and stuff. But they're wicked good games. They're scary too. This is like it's on this old
Shit
ass
my
space
pants
station.
while I'm in my room
and, like,
playing video games.
but she'll the AI is fucking scary, and she'll send
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
people that have been dead and been mutated after you and shit into the
Jesus.
corridors, and she's always trying to get your ass
mutate
killed.
that ass.
It's like the I Am Mother movie or whatever on
All right,
Netflix.
completely
Here's
off
one to
topic.
creep you out.
Girl on the
What's
ship,
up?
whatever.
Completely off topic, but Evan, you have just the cutest little room.
Yeah, I know. It'd make you wet, don't it?
It's just
It's making you you're making you pee a little, isn't it?
yeah.
You gotta throw up,
I'm
actually.
I'm a little
Well,
wet.
I swapped rooms, and I just never got around to pulling all the shit off the walls.
I like the tapestry too.
Yeah, if you get a hippie girl in here with a tapestry in the back, that's immediate score. Like a hippie girl sees that, and she's getting down with you.
That's immediate her penetrating your butt with her penis.
She'll just get zen.
I kind of like that tapestry.
It's actually
It's actually pretty
It's
cool.
pretty cool. Look at
Those
that.
tapestries are kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are seeing the tapestries in a whole different way than me right now.
I'd put that shit up in my
dude,
room.
I know.
Yeah, it's definitely a little, little feminine in here. But it doesn't bother
Fuck
me.
it.
I'm only in here to fucking sleep and
Jerk off. I mean,
fucking do homework and shit half the time.
Well, at least you're somebody's unbiological sister.
Yeah, right. What do you know about nanomachines?
I actually don't really know anything about nanomachines
Me
except
either.
they
I don't really
I'll
know.
pull it up to give you a proper
they
definition.
freaked out our boy Rich Just Get Money.
Oh yeah, Rich. Just get money, Rich. Yo, yeah, he was creeped out
Or-
by it. He's like, I don't fuck with that shit. I don't fuck with that
AKA
shit.
Rich Just Gay Men.
What?
What the
Just gave in?
JGM. I told him it stands
Dude,
for
that
Just
time-
Gay Men. He was pissed.
that time when fucking
Fuck
his
with
girl wouldn't fucking Facebook Live try to hunt him down as he was hanging out with bitches?
Yeah. Rich is a peacock. You just gotta let him fly. Who is he to say no? If the bitches want it, they can have it.
Who am I to say no?
Yeah, right.
My name is my name.
So basically, nanomachines. Supposedly they're working on this, and I don't know how real it is, but it's probably the scariest piece of technology if it's actually, like, in theory, it's, in my opinion, the most scary piece of technology. AI is one thing, but imagine little microscopic robots that are small enough to just attach to your cells in your body.
Yeah, so like when you get shot, they immediately heal up your arm. You talking about like that?
Right, so, like, the
Yeah, but
theory
like imagine
is...
them taking you over.
Yeah,
and
so
like
the theory
running who
is
you are.
The theory is they're building nanomachines to try to optimize for combat, to optimize like how well
Performance,
soldiers
yeah.
Make the
perform in
perfect
combat.
soldier.
So, for example, with the nanomachines, they'll hook
Captain
to your
America.
cells and your DNA and shit. And like basically, like say if you were a soldier out in battle, you and your brother were like a 2-man tandem. You're out there doing reconnaissance or doing whatever,
Yep.
and you get into a firefight. If you're loaded with the nanomachines, in theory, I could sit back on my monitor right now, and because of the nanomachines, I'd be able to monitor all your vitals
Yeah.
and control like your neurotransmitters and your hormones and all these
Could
other
you
things.
keep
So
them calm?
So like if Griffin started having like a fucking panic attack in a firefight, I could just fucking fuck with his code, and I could bring down his stress. I could use the right hormones and transmitters to bring his stress level down so he recovers from his panic attack. and
Imagine
shit.
being the
You're
one
just
having the
always-
panic attack. Like just going from like, oh, I'm having a panic attack to like,
And I realize
feel
it back.
fucking
I
fine.
realize it back
Well,
here on
I
the
mean-
computer, and I just start typing. I fix it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's so fast. I'm sure like that you probably wouldn't even have the panic attack to begin with. They'd probably be able to just control your levels and keep you.
They'll see the starting.
You'll always just be cool, calm, and collected.
So the problem with the nanomachines, though, is in theories they think that you'd just be able to actually really control people.
Yeah.
And just control a whole mobile unit of fucking mindless army.
What's to stop them from like just in that war situation? Like they can just
what else
you
they
become
could do?
their own little.
This is even scarier. You know what else in theory they'd be able to do with nanomachines?
Huh.
Instantly give groups of people fucking diseases, viruses.
It'd be great if they could make my dick bigger with them.
You know, they could easily just give you a virus and just kill people.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's already
like just make people sick.
It's already probably not that hard to do that. So
yeah, Griff's one of those dudes is like fucking. They got the cancer serum in a vault.
Like nanomachines are probably a waste of time and money to do that. You could way easier just give people a bunch of disease.
You just drop the. I lost what I was gonna say.
You know, chemtrails and shit. They could put the disease in the chemtrail, fly the plane over the Africans. Hillary Clinton out here killing villages.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, nanomachines, in my opinion, are the most scary thing.
Yeah, it's kind of sketch because like you probably wouldn't even know if they could definitely get the nanomachines in you without you knowing.
Yeah,
you put it in food.
Yeah, they could probably put it in food,
everything.
but what would happen is they would probably start with the soldiers.
Oh yeah,
and in order for you to join the military, they would make you get. They'd be like, they just go, "Oh, here's a slew of shots you got to take, you know, to get you vaccinated," and they just put nanomachines in.
Here's your tetanus shot. Oh,
well, on this,
you got to have all these vaccines on this website, for going overseas.
Nanomachine in general term for a machine ranging in size from a 1 micrometer, which is 1,000th of a millimeter, to 1 nanometer, which is 1,000,000th of a millimeter.
That's fucking.
How do you build something that small?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
You have to literally do it like in a fucking
microscope. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's got to be a robot though, because like there's no way that you could move your. You don't have the control to move your fingers that little. It's all robot.
It's all robotic.
Computers are building it.
I feel like we don't have we don't have like any sort of nanotechnology
using MEMS, microelectronic mechanical system technology. An example of nanomachines would be a protein aggregate reassembling the structure of a man-made motor using biomolecules such as DNA, proteins, and resins as parts. Nanomachines are used to alter the bodies of human hosts, enhancing their abilities and their performance in combat situations.
So is this like are nanomachines like a proven real thing? Like they're out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is that like a conspiracy? Because that seems like some fake shit.
So the reason why I got into looking in nanomachines, now there's people that are trying to build them.
Okay.
But they're not like a.
I don't know.
I don't think
it's like some fucking DARPA shit. You ever
I don't
see
think
DARPA,
we have the
DARPA
technology.
does with the robots?
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't know what kind of technology we got.
Yeah, obviously in fucking
dude,
S4 or whatever.
There's rumors that we had drones in World War II.
What? I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, though.
I wouldn't. Kidding me? If you could fly a plane, I'm sure you can have fucking some sort of a drone.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge
It's got to be easier. It's got to be easier to make a plane on a small scale. It's like birds.
Do you really think that back in World War II?
But a drone is technology.
Shortly, like the minute someone started building helicopters,
you can build it in a pretty simple way.
The minute someone started building helicopters, you didn't think that they were like, man, we could probably make these little ones for make a helicopter tiny for reconnaissance.
I guarantee you, they were probably built first. It's got to be easier.
So
to make
you know what drones they probably had?
Yeah,
I guarantee you that they had those little ones that are shaped like actual planes that you could just toss.
Yeah,
I bet you they had some shit like that. They could probably fly, like even if you can get it to fly like a mile, it could tell you what the fuck is going on in a mile stretch, and then you just recover it or something like that.
It's not necessarily propelled by anything. It's just like perfectly aerodynamic in a way.
Maybe.
It'll fly for a while. It can pick up readings of some sort.
I mean, there were
and then they just have to
steroids in
figure out
World
how
War
to put
II.
like a motor to it.
We've had steroids since the 40s.
To have a drone,
And
you
that
have to have
steroids are crazier
different
than
sort
fucking
of
drones,
technology.
Yeah,
the technology for drones is more advanced than
you're
normal
right. It's
planes
probably
and stuff
easier.
like
They were
that.
probably able to like slap a motor. They took like a car motor and started
what
to
you
make
know
a
about the
helicopter.
Enola Gay?
Yeah, it might have been easier to build that on a larger scale.
Yeah, because it's
already having like simpler technology of like raw power that's in a motor as opposed to like circuit boards and crazy shit.
Yeah, because for newer like drones and stuff like that, they have circuit boards, and that's technology that like obviously
then
circuit
again,
boards
who's to say
were,
they
but
didn't have circuit boards and shit back then? We don't know.
Who's to say they didn't have Pokemon back then?
Yeah, fucking Pikachu out here.
Pika Pika.
Fucking.
No, so nanomachines are wild to me. The reason why I got into thinking about nanomachines was, dude, I'm telling you, Metal Gear Solid shaped the way I fucking view shit. Conspiracies, think about things. They were talking about nanomachines in Metal Gear Solid, and that was always like a big thing. Like, and especially in Metal Gear Solid 4, part of the plot was like, so Metal Gear Solid 4 is one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best Metal Gears from a gameplay standpoint. You're out there as Snake, the character, and you're fucking in the middle of a giant war where there's like one faction fighting another faction.
Yeah.
And both sides are controlled by different nanomachines and shit.
Show
And
you a nanomachine.
when I started looking into it, there's definitely people trying to build nanomachines.
Oh yeah.
It's 100%. It's like, but to me, that's the scariest technology. If you can affect molecular to the molecular level of human beings, you can do anything to them.
Yeah.
Like if you could build nanomachines in theory, dude, you could fucking do anything to somebody. You could just fucking strike someone dead, probably.
You could do anything
like
to
you could just
anything.
cause a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Transcendence with Johnny Depp?
I put it in my queue, but I didn't finish it.
When you have the time, yeah, watch it because it is very good.
He says,
Because it has
put
like
it in my
nanotechnology
queue.
and stuff like that. Like this, it's all from AI. This lady's husband, fucking smart ass dude. They somehow figured out to make him into the AI dude, and then he like got way too fucking smart, and it like all got all fucked up. And
I don't
like
know-
he created
I don't know why, but I don't like
nanotechnology
those.
somehow by himself. He did it all by himself as AI, and it's a crazy movie.
Keep talking. I gotta pee.
Yeah, me
All right.
too. I'm gonna go after him.
What do you think?
But
While we pee,
yeah.
what do you think about reptiles controlling the government?
Reptiles controlling the government. All right.
Completely impossible. That doesn't make any sense. First
I
of
mean-
all, you can't. Something that, again, back to the whole cognizance thing. They're not cognizant. They're not smart. They're automatons. They eat. They breed. They shit. They fuck. They just reproduce. They're just a regular old animal.
You
Like,
want to see a creepy fucking video? I can find you the video. There's a creepy video that everyone claims is a reptilian shapeshifter working in the Secret Service.
well, yeah,
Really?
that's a whole different
Did I
thing.
ever
If it's some sort of like
Did I
crazy
show you the
humanoid
video of
shapeshifter
Obama's
lizard
bodyguard?
motherfucker. No.
It's one of the creepiest videos you'll ever see.
Obama's bodyguard's a
Obama's
bearded
got
dragon.
A bodyguard that's really tall and long and lanky, and he's in like there's this video, dude, where he's like standing like this at a press conference, and he's
Yeah.
going, and he's like, he's either on like fucking like coke or Adderall or something, but he's like hyper focused, and he's standing amongst everyone at this big meeting, and he's like this,
Yeah.
and he's not acting like it sounds stupid, and I don't believe it.
Like
Yeah.
he's
He's not acting
ultra
human.
alert. Like
Yeah, dude, it's creepy.
That's
He's
weird.
going
he
like
sees
this,
and hears everything.
like a predator.
Yeah.
Like he's like a predator, and then the video's wicked weird because his head is shaped funky and all shit, and they turn, and when the video turns, they put infrared on, and I don't know if they fuck with the video to edit it. But
Probably.
He's like, they're trying to say that like when you use the infrared,
Yeah.
you could see that someone's a reptilian shapeshifter, and he looks funky when the infrared gets turned on.
Okay, you cannot
it's
say
wicked creepy.
Yeah,
you
no.
cannot say that you know what infrared of
That's what they say.
a reptilian shapeshifter
That's
is because
not-
there's no fucking such thing as a
Yeah,
reptilian
yeah.
shapeshifter.
There's
the
no
video's
thing.
still creepy as fuck.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sure,
it's just
but,
fucking.
like, we don't know what
yeah.
the fuck a reptilian shapeshifter looks like under infrared.
Yep.
You kidding me? Who's smoking crack? People are crazy. Yeah, reptiles are just animals, and under no circumstances are animals running the government. I mean, we have some pretty like creepy, like animalistic type government dudes that are doing some wild like animal shit, fucking kids, but animals are not running the government.
Yeah, no. There's no possible way for reptiles, in specific, to be running the government.
Nope.
Not gonna happen.
So,
At any point in time, it's
just
not
so
gonna
the
happen.
whole reptilian shapeshifter shit is I might get this wrong.
That's
but,
less believable than Bigfoot being real.
but
Oh, yeah.
so the reptilian shapeshifter shit. I might be getting this wrong, but it's like it has something to do with like the world order and the Illuminati, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
There's theories that the shadow government or the Illuminati is actually like they're like got alien ties, and that there's like these reptilian like alien people that are like part of the government that have been here and all this stuff. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't know.
No mas? You're not into the reptilian shapeshifters?
No, we
There's shapeshifters not.
Like it's
It's yeah, and again, I'd more believe,
I believe
that
that there's,
Bigfoot
like-
would be real than shapeshifters.
I'd be more prone to believe that there's
specific
8 ghosts in this
reptilian.
house before
Okay,
there's one reptilian shape.
Here's the thing about Bigfoot. It's something I forgot to say.
Yeah.
No, go right here to my sister's room and go left. The one thing that goes in Bigfoot's favor is it would be an organic creature that you could touch and fucking interact with, whereas like ghosts aren't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You get what I'm trying to say from like a physical standpoint. Like if Bigfoot was real, it's an actual organic creature. Like if it was real, if we found it tomorrow, you'd be able to reach out, fucking
Touch him,
smack its ass, whatever.
Fingers, butthole,
You know,
whatever
good
you want.
game, all that stuff.
High five. I'll find you again in about 50 years.
So there's another one. The moon landing.
It happened.
It happened.
It
People are fucking stupid.
There's no way it didn't happen.
We're talking about putting shit on Mars already. Like why? There's nothing out on the fucking moon. That's why we don't go there all the time.
Yeah. It's made out of fucking cheese. Everybody knows that.
It's made out of cheese, but it's nothing. It's just a fucking dust fucking ball that's out there in orbit. It's just fucking. Sand.
landing never happened. Really?
You know what's
It
hilarious
did.
though? There's wicked deep arguments where people really try to debunk it, and they do.
The Earth is
They make really like the Earth is flat. Those arguments suck, but there's like a lot of evidence that they could easily convince people to think that the moon landing never happened.
It happened.
But what fucking tight hammy you got there, huh?
Tight fucking hammy.
Tight fucking 4 o'clock, boys.
Made it to
4
4 o'clock.
fucking
Don't you
clock.
guys feel accomplished?
It's early in the morning.
I don't. I
So
really
what-
don't even feel tired.
So
Actually.
what are we doing? Are we gonna finish up these and keep talking for a little bit, or you guys are gonna tap out?
I'm good to keep going.
What about you, Griff?
I'll go.
Keep going.
I could use another.
I'm raring to go. Yeah, get yourself one.
Use another what? Good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Get your dick up.
But yeah,
and
the
say-
moon
I mean,
landing. Let's see what it says. What's fascinating is that when NASA first landed 3 astronauts successfully on the moon in 1969, when such a thing still felt like science fiction, nobody doubted it. But today, despite how far technology has come, and just a few days after NASA probe photographed the object more than 6 billion kilometers from Earth, farther out than Pluto, there's a growing tide of disbelievers who are certain that are actually staged possibility, even filmed in Hollywood sound studio. Fun as it is to imagine conspiracies successfully pulled off by our space agency, we're sorry to say that the human beings actually reached the moon. JFK, we already talked about JFK.
Yep.
This one's weird. Queen Elizabeth is internally youthful because she is a cannibal.
No,
Nope.
that just doesn't make sense.
This guy goes,
doesn't-
she must eat human flesh to be so vivacious.
There's no way
Vivacious.
that there's such a difference between our flesh and another animal's flesh that all of a sudden just
I like that word, longevity.
solves.
Longevity is a good word. I like the
like-
word. too.
Yeah, there's
a
no
good
way
word.
that just solves aging. What the fuck?
Remember, that's a big key factor. We were talking about best rappers of all time, longevity.
Longevity. It's fun to say as well.
Which is why Eminem can't be number one as much as I like Eminem. He doesn't have the longevity, bro. His best music's well behind him.
Yeah, you're right about that. Actually,
Who
new
would you,
music is good.
Who would you say consistently put out good music for a long time? What's a long time
D
as
to
well?
the M to the X.
What's a long time?
DMX.
Dude, DMX is the
All
only
right.
rapper to have all 4 of his albums go number 1 on the
His
Billboard
first
in a row.
5.
First 5 or
I
something
believe.
like that.
First 5 went number 1 on Billboard.
If you
Top
could go a
200.
decade of consistently put out real hits, that's good longevity.
Decade. That's a long time. There cannot be a lot of people that did
There's
that.
not many. DMX did it.
Yes.
Where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at? Had it in the cut where the wood at. Yo, DMX is the fucking man. But yeah, dude, let's be real here. She's not that fucking vivacious.
No, she's an old ass lady.
She's old as
like
fuck.
okay, she's
Still
happy.
hot as fuck. I mean, what?
She's 92. Who gives a fuck? They still are in a place where people have fucking kings and queens, okay?
Yeah.
Fucking joke, dude. I'd love to go to England someday, though.
Nah, I'm good.
What do you mean?
Just not a place I have any interest in going.
Can you pass me another water?
Yeah, I guess.
No. I'm good, dude.
Fuck.
No, I don't know. Just never a place that really struck my fancy.
Not
my cup of tea.
I want to go and watch a
fancy.
Premier League soccer game.
Yeah, see, I have no interest in like the soccer like that, so that wouldn't be a draw.
Yo,
to
I'm
me.
already saving up money for the World Cup. What you know about that?
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait, dude.
I mean, I'm sure that would just be like a wild experience.
That's gonna
like
be
having
epic.
it be in America.
If I'm ever retarded enough to have children someday, I'll be like, yo.
He goes, if I'm ever retarded enough.
Like, I'll be like, yo, your dad, see this shit? Your dad was here. And like Anton and I are just fucking fighting people in the crowd. But yeah, the queen, I mean, she's fucking an old lady. What do you mean vivacious? Until I see her do a back handspring, I don't get too fucked with what she's doing.
Fuck? He says a backhand spring.
Like, until she does something wild or like climbs up the side. Yo, if she climbs up the side of a building, then she's probably
Longevity.
demonic.
Okay, you want to talk about a lady with longevity? She's not a cannibal and she lives in America. Her name's Betty White. That's longevity.
Yo, Betty White's a G.
That
You ever see those memes?
That bitch
You ever
been
see
around
those
the block.
memes where it makes you think that Betty White passed away? They're like, oh, she's still alive.
yeah, I
and
have
shit like that. It's
so
fucking
many
annoying.
fake news things about Betty
Okay,
White's dead.
Okay.
I don't want to light that on fire.
He's
Yeah,
got
some
the
action going on here.
he's got the
folks.
torch bussing, dude. Put it. Yeah, there you go. Got to get the flame on there.
That's a tight hammy you got right there, huh? Tight fucking
Jeez.
hammy. There it is. That's the spot right there. That's the spot right there. Dude, my shit will get demonetized if people listen to this shit. There it is.
We're making some creme brulee.
It's a kitchen torch, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fucking funny. Come on now, don't be a bitch.
For food uses only.
Oh, so that's how that works. Go, 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 go. Griffin's like, yowza. Fucking sheesh. That's fucking funny. No one gives a fuck about Elvis Presley. He faked his own death.
Yeah,
Chemtrails.
I don't even know who the fuck. Okay, I have a friend
what?
who like
Elvis Presley
is
faked his death?
persistently.
That's a conspiracy theory.
I have a friend who is consistently a prick about insisting that the Earth is flat. Like
What does
not
he say
fucking
to you?
flat.
he kind of like he's half kidding, but he's definitely like half like wants to believe that
That's
the world
what happens
is flat.
with most of these
He's more
serious
serious than he is
conspiratorial
joking.
guys.
Yeah.
They're too pussy to actually take their stance that they think they're taking.
Yeah, like he mostly does it just to fuck with people, but like he all goes back to this literal one video that he watched. It was like an hour and a half long, and they just spewed a bunch of bullshit about how gravity's not real, and
Doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
Well,
Dude, they're fucking stupid. Fucking flat.
No, they literally talk in like a circle about how one thing makes gravity not possible, but this makes that thing not possible, and like it just goes in a circle of like fake science.
Dude, it's just fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever hear? Oh, I forgot what. Did
The
you
Earth
ever
is
hear
round,
the
motherfuckers.
like, how does the sun go up and go down? You know what I'm saying? Why is there time zone?
Bitch, the Earth spins.
Like, why is it that right now in France it's fucking daytime? Shout out to you, Anna, in France. It's daytime there.
Throw a baseball.
shout out to
Sometimes
Claudia
you.
in Italy.
There you go. Okay.
You're hot as fuck. I mean,
my
what?
man's got some bitches in Italy. All right.
Throw
okay.
a baseball. Sometimes you see the logo. Sometimes you don't. The fucking thing spins. There's sides. That's why the sun goes away.
Ooh, that's something we could talk about. Serial killers.
Dexter.
Serial killers. Dexter.
Dexter.
Serial killers.
There's
I don't even know. I'm just typing.
I don't know. I
one
don't know.
L in cereal.
Yeah. I'm not the best speller.
I don't know a lot of serial
I
killers.
think it's actually Cereal. No, that's a cereal you eat.
All right, who we
Dude,
got?
what the fuck?
View gallery.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, I know, like Ed Gein. Didn't he wear people's skin?
Yeah, no. So
That's some crazy
This is
shit.
what Ed Gein used to do, and he was the guy that he was the inspiration for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
What the motherfuck?
So Ed Gein lived in like rural, like fucking Wisconsin or Milwaukee. I think it's Wisconsin. I'm not sure. We can look him up right here. Is this an alphabetical order?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Hold on.
Yeah, what about it?
Those movies are fucked.
Yeah, they're
dude.
inspired by him, but it's
He
loose.
did shit like that to people?
Yeah.
Yes, but not. He didn't kill as many people as they did in the movie.
Sheesh. That was some fucked up shit in those movies.
Dude, it's scary seeing the ones 100 plus.
Oh yeah, there's tons.
That's
Dude,
fucked.
There's killers. This is interesting. We're talking. There's killers you guys don't even know about. There's dudes that have supposedly 200 body count. Like there's a
Like
couple killers.
Dexter?
There's a couple killers from South America.
How do you do that? Like group killings? Like you get
So-
everybody to drink the Kool-Aid and they all die?
That's happened.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's happened.
Jim
I just wasn't
Jones,
sure if like
or
that's...
whatever his name is. No, so there was a killer that they called him the Monster of the Andes, and he's
Jeez.
probably on this list somewhere. But his name's like Gustav something. But anyways, this dude from South America, and you can get away with this in certain places. What he did was, he was just a nomad, and he literally would just roam from rural town to rural town in South America, and he would just adopt little girls and rape them and kill them.
What the fuck?
And supposedly he killed like fucking 200 kids. Supposedly.
That's crazy.
They called him the fucking Monster of the Andes. He's probably on here. But anyway, so Ed Gein, where was he born? Where was he born? Yes, Wisconsin. So basically, Ed Gein only killed a few people. Some like chick, chick from a diner.
Gotta move the chair back.
So what Ed Gein,
Oh, girl.
so what Ed Gein did was he killed a few people, and he was like collecting their body parts and shit, and like he would also go into cemeteries. When they went to his home, it was like a house of horrors. He would dig up bodies, and he would cut off like freshly like he had a box full of like vaginas that he cut off corpses. Like he had a box
Pussy
full
lips.
of fucking pussy lips.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
like he had a box
That's
full of
some
pussy
weird
lips.
shit.
Dude,
Yeah,
when
he would have liked that one girl from your college, huh?
yo, there's a girl.
The fat snatch.
Yo, there's a girl at my school.
Yeah.
He goes a fat snatch. Listen, there's a girl at my school who wears spandex all the time. Griffin's over there just smiling.
He's like,
There's a girl at my school who has hands down the biggest fucking vagina on the face of the planet, and she wears leggings all the time, right?
yeah.
And there's just a fucking giant V,
Straight front
and
butt.
you could see.
And that's a wrap, though.
Yo, this dude's nuts. Anyways, this girl, dude, her fucking snatch is so fucking big and meaty, dude, that like she wears her span.
some
Oh, it's not a
girth to
bad
it.
thing. It's not a bad thing at all, dude. And when she walks, it like shakes and shit, dude. And she's hot. She's got like a nice body. All this other stuff, right? She looks
Really?
good, but she's just got a big old fucking vagina. Like you could like fucking land a paper airplane on that shit if she was laying down. Like, dude, it's fucking huge. And I don't care what anyone says. It doesn't matter if you're a girl, teacher, guy. Everyone's fucking looking at that shit.
Yeah.
It's huge, dude.
It just directs your eye contact directly
It stares at you.
Yeah. You fucking have.
This dude says front butt.
When you have a steering
Yo,
contest,
it's
a front butt.
Is that what we gotta name this episode? Front butt?
butt.
front butt.
Bitch has a front butt.
Yo, this fucking. But anyways, Ed Gein was also taking skin off corpses of people he killed, and he was hemming his furniture up with it. Like he was using people's skin, as like covers for his furniture and shit,
That's
and curtains.
fucked.
And like, dude, imagine being the people that walked into that home. There's black and white footage of them going into his home. You could find it on the internet somewhere.
I would have freaked
Where they're
out.
like they're walking into his home for the first time and finding the shit. And he had a shrine in a room, I think, with his mom's like body, like her skeleton or some shit. Fucking like he was always like hearing voices after his mom died because his mom was wicked abusive and oppressive, like was religious and told them that women are evil, and that's why he killed a couple women. and stuff like that, but he was just demented. He had like fucking boxes of clits, all kinds of stuff. Was making necklaces out of body parts. Like he was just a fucking creep. But he was the inspiration for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He used to wear people's like the whole wearing someone's skin, their face as a mask.
That's fucked.
That guy was nuts. Just look at him, dude. And he had like an IQ of like 70. He's like borderline retarded. See what else we got. Yo, Albert Fish was a scary fucking killer. Look at this dude. He would abduct and just rape and eat kids.
He
would eat children, and then he would write letters to the families being like, your kids tasted like delicious and shit. Like tell them that he cooked their kids in stew and ate their children.
Your kids taste delicious.
One of the creepiest stories with Albert Fish is, dude, you want to know how he used to snatch kids in New York? He was like the first dude to ever abduct someone through a skylight.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Imagine being a little kid and you're in like the foyer of an apartment complex. And there's a skylight.
The boogeyman?
Yeah, like you're in a skylight. There's a skylight above you, and all of a sudden you like see some shadows, and then a dude comes down from a rope and picks you up.
What the fuck?
Imagine how scary that. Imagine if you survived that. I'd rather be fucking dead at that point.
Yeah, he rapes you, but then he doesn't eat you. He's like, yeah.
And you're having nightmares of a dude fucking just coming out of the sky and just picking you up. Like Albert Fish was fucking demented.
How the fuck do you get back up the rope? He can climb that fast with a kid.
Supposedly, that's what they said. Trying to find what years are these.
Like maybe you got an accomplice, they just pull you up.
Okay, so these are by last name.
Let's find one that's been like the most recent.
Look at here's their victims. Look at this guy. This isn't
Rodney
Alcala. This dude Rodney Alcala. They said possible victims 50 to 130. This dude Rodney Alcala is one of the craziest ones ever. You want to know how they found this one girl almost got murdered by him on a dating show. He was on like a dating show one night, and they didn't know he was a serial killer at the time.
What?
And he almost went on a date with the girl, and he probably would have fucking killed her. You could find on the internet, and he's just like nice, charming, smiling, all those other things, and he convinces the girl to pick him, but they never end up going on the date. He would have fucking killed her, Rodney Alcala.
That's crazy.
Called the Date Game Killer because of his 1978 appearance on the television series The Dating Game in the midst of his murder spree.
Jeez.
I'm just going to go over ones I know.
Yo, Terry Blair, 2004.
Well, let's see what else we got. Where's that? Terry Blair, you said?
Down. Right there. Down a little more. Right there. Yep.
1982 to
2004.
Killed at least 7 women in Kansas State, Missouri.
The latest one was 2004.
So this guy right here is one of the most famous, David Berkowitz, the son of Sam.
I've heard you talk about
He
him.
was just wanting to kill people, right? And he was running. My mom grew up. Was coming up in that. My mom's from New York City. She's from the Bronx.
Yeah.
And she was growing up around that time, so she knew all about that shit. And he was going around New York City. They called him the 44 caliber killer. He was just shooting people. And he tried to get off of the plea of insanity because he was telling everyone he was seeing demons and that his neighbor's dog was commanding him to kill people and shit.
Oh, I've heard about that.
How is he the worst one? He only killed 6 people.
No, he's one of the first ever like real famous serial killers.
Oh, one of the first
American.
ever. Okay.
And he was famous.
I was going to say, I was like, what?
David Berkowitz. David fucking Berkowitz.
David Boykowitz.
There he is. Ted Bundy, man. 30
Dude,
plus.
Ted Bundy, he's fucking hot. I mean,
he's a fucking G, dude.
Dude, he didn't even do it. Like, he tried to say, you fucking
just
idiots, dude.
Dude, Ted Bundy was a fucking brutal killer. Like, he would hunt girls down. He would take girls out to like his camps.
Yeah.
And like, there's another killer that did this, but Ted Bundy would take girls out to camps, or like not take them out to camps. He'd like to find broads in campgrounds and then like go chase them and try to hunt them down and kill them.
Yeah.
And he would chase them down. He had like a cord of wood that he like kind of like turned into like a big ass club, and he was just fucking bludgeoning bitches out and like throwing them in a shed and shit. He was just, and look at his eyes. So. Really look at his eyes.
Looks like Dexter, dude.
Like,
he looks pissed.
You guys know me at this point. I rarely get intimidated by anything. one of the only things that's ever been creepy or intimidating to me is there's certain photos where you get a good glimpse of his eyes, dude, and there's nothing there.
There's no emotion.
There is nothing there.
His face looks pissed, but like his literal eyeballs, he looks like there's nothing.
That's the reason why, in my opinion, Zac Efron couldn't do as good as a job as people thought he did in that show, because he looked like him.
Still did pretty good.
He did good. He looked like him, sounded like him, but he didn't move like him as good.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get facial expressions.
The eyes, you could see emotions. It looked like he was either sad
you can't,
or just...
You can't replicate those eyes right there.
No.
And...
it has to be edited.
It's ridiculous. Like, his eyes are fucking piercing. He's so fucking creepy.
He looks like the guy that just doesn't blink ever.
But yeah, Ted
Bundy.
Bundy
just walks around just
killed a bunch
never
of women,
blinking.
man. Everyone knows Ted Bundy. Trying to find some ones with some crazy kill counts. I know Andre
73 plus.
73. I know Andre Chikatilo from Russia. They called him the Rostov Ripper. He killed a bunch of people.
Richard Cottingham, 85 to 100.
This dude?
Yeah.
Santa?
Richard Francis Cottingham is an American. You want to know? Look at they stopped publicizing killers. That's why. He was given the several nicknames: the Butcher at Times Square, the Torso Killer, the New York Ripper in Times Square or something. He got accused. He got accused of 6, or got put away for 6. Supposedly he has 85 to 100 killings, supposedly. Jeffrey Dahmer. It's one of everyone's favorites. He was a cannibal. I have Jeffrey Dahmer figured out, though.
I still haven't watched, I think whatever documentary he was on or something like that. I haven't gotten to seeing it yet.
So Jeffrey Dahmer lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right? And he was gay, and he started fucking just luring men into his home because he's a decent looking cat and shit back then, and was intelligent, charismatic. He would bring guys home that are around his age, and he would rape them and kill them and shit. And then he would later on he would start eating them. And then he eventually started disposing of their bodies in chemicals because he was a chemist and all this shit. He had vats. He had vats, crates of just decomposed dead matter because he just had acid dumps. He would just dump their bodies into it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fucking ridiculous. When they opened up his apartment, they found a fucking couple severed heads in his fridge, someone dead in the bathtub, and then they found all the crates where he was just decomposing bodies. I think I got Jeffrey Dahmer figured out, though. I think Jeffrey Dahmer, I suppose he says he has a normal, perfect childhood and he loves his parents and he proclaims all the time that it's not their fault why he is the way he is. But I think that Jeffrey Dahmer was a straight up psychopath that just started killing dudes, because I think at the time, coming up at that time, it was still taboo to be gay. And I think that there was definitely a part of him that felt bad, or felt like it was he was being stigmatized and felt like it was wrong for being gay, so he just started killing dudes. I think it has something to do with that as well.
Yeah.
He would just targeted men and just fucking killed them. I think he was ashamed of the fact that he liked dudes. I think that's a component in it.
Seems pretty possible.
Because besides being a psychopath, what other motive does he have if his childhood was that great?
Yeah.
Unless maybe he was raped by someone outside of his family or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking for those Hispanic guy, that one Hispanic guy that fucking, I think it's Gustav something.
Confirmed 114 kills. What in the fuck?
Some things are
what? The Philadelphia poison ring was a number of, okay, so they were killing people via poison.
Gee.
Poison ring.
This Lavinia Fisher, numerous.
It says question mark to
what
question
does
mark
that
1819 question
John
mark.
Wayne Gacy. This is okay. So John Wayne Gacy, his trial, his stuff had one of the most disturbing things I've ever heard when studying serial killers. So John Wayne Gacy, as it says, he raped, tortured, and murdered 33 teenage boys.
Jeez.
So you know what he did? He started burying them under his home, right? Mm-hmm. And this is one of the most grotesque things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So he starts burying all these kids under his home, and he starts digging the graves really deep, right? So he say he buries 10 kids, and covers them in lye and other stuff to try to decompose them, and then throws dirt over that, so they're decomposing underneath their graves, right? But then he's got to kill 5 or 6 more kids, whatever, and then he was throwing dirt down and stacking the grades on top of them.
Yeah.
So he had
Layers.
multiple layers of graves, right? So when the coroners came in, the people started digging, not the coroners, the people come in to start finding these bodies, when they started to realize that they might be under his home. Imagine this. And this, when I heard about this, it like hurt. It was one of the only things that's ever hurt my stomach. So they started digging to find, they were like, oh, we got a bone or whatever. And they pulled apart the first grave and they find a fucking child's, skeleton in there. Right. Mm-hmm. And there's like, there's all kinds of liquid matter because they're still decomposing and shit because the top ones are fresh. Right.
Yeah.
So they don't know yet that there's a whole nother layer of graves underneath those graves. And one dude is like doing his thing and he's like, getting all the matter out of there so they can identify the kid. And all of a sudden that kid's grave breaks because there's a grave under it. And imagine falling through to the next level. And then the other ones on the outside started to collapse inward, and just like where they said that the graves would collapse on each other. It just start to fill up with just liquid human
dead body,
and shit. It was disgusting. It was a fucking mess. It took them forever to get all the bones and stuff out there and piece the kids together and shit.
That's disgusting.
That's one of the most disgusting things ever. Imagine trying to fucking clean that shit up, dude. Terrible.
No, fuck that.
But he's famous because he used to dress up as a clown. He had a day job where he made good money, and he also did events for kids. Like, he'd dress up as a clown and entertain children. I think that's the inspiration for it, to be honest with you. We already hit Ed Gein. Where is it? I want to say the dude's name is Gustav something. Hart Brothers. This guy, H.H. Holmes, he's one of the most infamous serial killers. So H.H. Holmes, dude, he was a fucking gangster. So H.H. Holmes moves to America, right, and starts to build like money and wealth for himself. Mm-hmm. So what does this dude do? He buys a whole block of apartments, right? And the bottoms have convenience stores.
Yeah.
So what he does is he rents the convenience stores and all the little shops out to people as like the storefronts as a front. And the second, third, and the fourth floor, he turned that into just an elaborate, creepy house of trap doors and secret rooms and shit where you could torture and fucking kill people. In the basement, he would just bring the bodies when he's done doing whatever down there, and just like, dude, they found dead stacks of skeletons and stuff. He was burning bodies. He had crazy shit like, he had rooms that were gas chambers where you get stuck in there and then gas comes out and he would watch you from another room, just fucking suffocate. He had hallways that like lead to nowhere and hallways that are crooked, trap doors, fucking torture rooms, all kinds of shit. He turned his whole that just into fucking killing, and he was apparently a doctor and he just did fucking terrible shit. It says confessed to 27 murders.
That's wild.
Supposedly they had way more because they found tons of bones in his basement. But he confessed to 27. That was in the early 1900s. This dude, John Johnson, 300 plus.
What?
John the Liver-Eating Johnson, born John Jeremiah Garrison, was a mountain man of the American. Oh, he's part of the war.
Known as the Liver-Eating Johnson Mountain Man. Ate the livers of crew. What? That's crazy.
Okay, so Ed Kemper's one of the most notorious killers. So, you want to hear another wicked disturbing story?
Sure.
Ed Kemper was a dude who had a multitude of issues. He had a mother that was really mentally abusive. I personally think he never admits to it, but I guarantee his mom probably fucking did sexual shit to him too. He had a mother who just like would mentally abuse him and chastise him and be like, tell him like everything is the way it is because of you, and I can't get a man because I got a worthless son. And he was also like impotent and shit. Like it was underdeveloped from a manhood standpoint. Like he had really small, like almost like a micro dick and all the shit.
Yeah.
And he was big and lumbering, not attractive. And then on top of that, you got your mother telling you all the time that you're not attractive and all these other things and not desirable to women.
You told
and
me about this.
what
too.
do young dudes? They all want to be desirable by whatever they find attractive. In his case, it's women. So he goes on to kill a bunch of co-eds, right? He also kills his whole entire family, I'm pretty sure. His mom and his grandparents. And, grandparents. Yeah, okay, so he starts by, he kills these co-eds, and then eventually he has a conversation with his mom one night where she comes in the room and she basically tells him, you're the reason why I haven't been able to keep a man around. I haven't had sex in 8 years because of you. And he made up his mind that night that he was going to fucking kill his mother, right? So a week later, he kills his mother, chops her head off in the kitchen, and then after her head's chopped off and she's dead, he has sex with her, and then tells her dead body, there, now you've had sex. Grandpa comes home, finds out what happens, and he kills Grandpa because Grandpa knows, and then he decides he has to kill Grandmother because he doesn't want her to live her whole life without Grandfather.
Jeez.
Fucking
That's so fucked.
And he killed a whole bunch of co-eds. And so why he's probably the most important serial killer, though, in my opinion, in the history of serial killers, is he's extremely intelligent, well-read, and articulate. And he sat down, and that's what that show, have you guys watched Mindhunter yet? You
No.
love it. It's so good. It's better than any other murder shit. It's this show where they do a fictional retelling of how the FBI and the FBI's like psychoanalytical ward came about, where they started to coin the term serial killer and hunt them down and help prevent killings. And, they're trying to get inside the mind, the psyche of repeat offenders.
Yeah.
He's the first serial, and they interview or catch. They either interview or catch all the greatest serial killers of American history. It's great. They interview him first. He's the first person they interview, and he had no problem sitting down with psychologists in real life, explaining to them, knows he's fucked up, and trying to give them as much information as he can to try to help them conceptualize what makes someone a killer, what makes someone a repeat offender, so that someday we can try to stop it.
Yeah.
And he's in the
That's
show. It's a
crazy.
really good show. Like even though he killed all these girls, he knew what he was doing was wrong. He turned himself in.
Wow.
I'm trying to find. Well, there's Richard Kuklinski. You guys know him, right? The Iceman.
I've heard about him.
He's just a hitman, a notorious hitman. Killed like 200 fucking people. Bad motherfucker.
200 plus.
Yeah, Henry Lee Lucas supposedly he killed 200 plus in Texas.
They're probably all slaves. What the fuck, dude?
He's
Texas.
probably
That time, they were slaves. He killed. What?
Trying to find this one guy.
What, the Gustav?
Gustav.
There's a killer that's killed tons of people from like South America.
Sucks to suck for them, I guess,
What?
That's life. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, then you walking on ice, you might as well dance.
Sometimes you just gotta get dead.
Called Eugene Watts. This dude.
Sunday morning slasher.
What'd you say?
Sunday morning
Sunday
slasher.
morning slasher. Was it Reverend Wrong? Wayne Williams is on Mindhunter. He killed a bunch of kids back in the day.
God damn it, Wayne.
God damn it.
Your boy Gustav didn't make the cut, bud.
God, hold on.
Didn't kill enough people.
Should have killed a couple more, I guess, guy. Monster of the week.
Pussy.
Monster of the Andes. Oh, that guy.
This dude, yep.
Pedro
Alonso
Lopez.
Lopez. Murdered more than 300 people. Pedro Alonso Lopez was known as the Monster of the Andes. Is convicted of a Colombian serial killer who was believed to have murdered more than 300 people.
That's a lot of
born
fucking
on
people.
October 8th, 1948 in Santa Isabela, Colombia. Pedro Alonso Lopez endured an early life of homelessness, violence, and sexual abuse, becoming incarcerated during early adulthood. Upon his release, he eventually embarked on a killing spree where he targeted young girls from his home country in Peru and Ecuador. In 1980, he was apprehended in Ambato and ultimately charged with 110 murders, for which he pled guilty. Despite the scope of his crimes, he only served 14 years before being deported to Colombia, where he was institutionalized and then set free with his whereabouts. His whereabouts are unknown. I did not know that.
That's fucking
He's
wild.
out there.
He's killing more bitches.
He's fucking more children.
Whoa.
Never mind, he didn't do that at all.
Maximum sentence, 16 years. What? The fuck?
30.
Okay, so in February 1998, he was declared sane
Not a chance.
and released under a $50 bail initial stipulations. He visited his elderly mother, who said that he asked for his inheritance, and then upon being informed of her poverty, he sold her soul bed and chair to people on the street. Lopez then vanished, with concerns having risen about his possible connection to 2002 murder, with his whereabouts are unknown. That was him when he was young.
Jeez, so just recently, within like the last...
While we were all alive. Well,
Yeah, we were alive
I was 12.
in 2002. It's not like we really
I was
knew
2.
about it, but we were alive. He's suspected of being a part of a murder.
Talked about killers. What else you guys want to talk about? Anything else you got on your mind? Anything you want to talk about?
Damn, I was just thinking about something before this, actually.
How far are we, man? We're almost at 3 hours, boys. What were you thinking about? Come on, we
Jeez.
can get this going farther. What were you thinking about?
I don't know what I was thinking.
There's nothing you want to talk about? You want to talk about bitches?
Oh, I can't remember if I told you about my fucking ex-girlfriend, Sticky Vicky. About how,
Yo, he's talking about ex-girlfriend. Okay, we can talk about ex-girlfriends.
about how him and his buddy were in the room. They were sitting in the 2 recliners in our room
you
watching TV.
told me that story.
Yeah, fucking banging her up on my bed while we were in the room.
I had something similar like that. My cousin, like Jake, just talks about it.
I was
all
awake the
time.
whole time, bro.
I was
I
awake the
heard.
whole time. I didn't even do. I was just.
Jake, not
Jake
my
was
fault,
sleeping
man.
on the fucking floor, and I just fingered my girlfriend. Like, so what?
Yeah.
Like, gives a fuck. I thought he was sleeping. Like, no. Duty calls, bro. You got a finger blast.
Gotta
bro.
do it.
So what's the deal? What's the deal? You got any ladies you're talking to, bro?
Not really. Just kind of chilling.
Yo, big Griff acts like he ain't on that sneak tip with the hoes out there. He's always
I
got
just-
broads talking to him.
I just don't care.
I got bras in Atlanta.
No, what is it that you were? What's that do? All my friends got outies.
All my friends got out.
I don't got friends. I got Audis.
Yeah, I don't got friends. I got outies, dude. He says random shit like that at
It's
work.
the smoke perp.
I don't got friends.
Yo, what did I say? And you were like perp, and I'm like perpetrator. He's like, nah, perp. It means something else.
No, like smoke perp.
Granddaddy perp.
Yeah, you gotta get the perp.
Nah, dude. You guys, I'm telling you, up at my school, dude, it's fucking bad.
Cause I got hoes calling a
Dude,
phone.
Dude, it's bad up at my school. You can't.
Fuck off with that
You
shit,
can't
dude.
turn your head up at my school without seeing someone fucking absolutely gorgeous.
Fat vagina?
Dude, no, yo, that vagina's real, bro.
I hear just clapping cheeks.
Dude, there's just beautiful girls everywhere. What sucks is, though, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, if I shave my face, I look younger, but dude, I hate having to tell fucking good looking girls
Bitches
that are
out
like
here being like 17, 18
19,
years old.
like, they're like, oh, how old are you? 28.
37.
It's like, dude, I'm
I
coming
went
up
to
on my
school with
30s
your
now.
dad.
Graduated high school
No.
with your father.
But yeah, dude, it's just everywhere you look up Oswego, they're just everywhere. Everyone either wears booty shorts or leggings. I'm not mad at it.
I wouldn't.
Facts.
Big facts. We're
Winter's coming. It's gonna be parka season.
gonna have to
winter's
unleash
coming.
Griff up there, dude.
Ugg boots.
Griff don't want to go up there though, because an ex-girlfriend's up there lingering.
Yeah, crazy cunt wandering around up there.
Easy, dude. Politically correct. Come on now.
Politically
Sorry.
correct.
What did she do?
Sorry,
to you,
crazy
dude?
bitch up there.
What'd she do to you?
She's
dude?
just nuts.
She was too hungry for his pee-pee.
She's nuts. Crazy. No, it doesn't matter.
She wanted to eat your dick like a fish stick, right?
Yeah.
She wanted to suck your dick from the back.
Shit wasn't long enough.
Eat his butt from the front.
Shit wasn't. Yo,
Shoots past.
bro, what'd you say? You know, what'd you call it earlier? Front butt.
The fucking bitch had a front butt.
Fucking front butt, dude. That's fucking funny. Front
Yeah.
butt, dude. That
It's
shit's
fucking-
too fucking much.
It's a fucking tight hammy you got
It's
there.
a fucking tight. Yo,
So you fucked your dad, huh?
so you fucked your fucking dad, huh? No, you like what else? We can talk. What do you want to talk about? You got nothing you want to talk about, Griff? You got anything you want to talk about? Griff's over here about to fucking torch my room down.
He's like,
Burn it all! My shit on fire. We'll be like the crack house down the road.
Give me the extension
Use
cords
the extension.
now.
We'll have to use the extension cord to repel out of this bitch.
Quick, the extension cords.
Quick time together.
Burn this shit.
That's funny.
I don't know. I can't think of any
Can't think of nothing.
like-
We're all tapped out.
like good topics.
Good topics. We're all tapped out. You guys do what's it do? You guys don't want any advice on anything? Anything bothering you? Anything that you want to talk about at all? We can get it all out on here, dude.
Oh, hang on.
Now your brother was going through that time where he kept singing that fucking "'Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit, he gets sucked on my dick, I ain't with all that shit." How
He was in his
do
feels
you
about-
like this?
He was in his feels about Sticky Vic.
Rolling around, rolling out with them hoes.
He was in his feels about Sticky Dick. Sticky
No,
Vic.
actually, I wasn't. Sticky dick.
That boat sailed, huh?
Yeah, that boat sailed.
Super sailed. You know, you got
Says
no,
the
you ain't
dude-
got no
says the
residual
dude-
feelings.
Says the dude that was just talking about like Snapchatting her and saying shit to her last weekend.
Turns and looks at me. Hey, look at. You can't be ashamed in it.
Fuck.
For example, I seen girls. I had seen women before my first girlfriend, but the first girlfriend I ever had, I won't say her name. I've probably said her name on here before, but anyways, I dated her for like a year or so, and then we split up, and then went back out, and then I had to dump her because she like just was like lying and cheating me or whatever. But even after that, like we were really sexually attracted to each other. Even probably now we would be like, there was multiple times after her and I broke up that we would still have sex. Like if we were both single, like it happens. You come across certain girls where like you'll still try to talk to them. There's something about them that stokes that fire, especially at your age, dude. You guys are fucking young. Like for me, honestly, it's getting to the point where I have to kind of. There's girls that are hot that you're like, oh man, they're good looking and stuff like that. But like, I don't get. For me, you can't hit like that next level at this point. I've had, not trying to be an asshole, like I've had a lot of sex for being 28. Not as much. I have other friends who've had sex with way more women than me, like unhealthy amounts probably.
Bodies.
Right, but I've fulfilled most of the stuff I actually like from a recreational standpoint. I've done so much shit. So for me, it's like, yeah, there's tons of hot, gorgeous women up at my school, and like, yeah, I would hook up with them and stuff like that, but you get to a point where you've had enough sexual contact with significant others and stuff like that where if you're the type of person that kind of would like a steady relationship, just rudimentary sex isn't like as exciting really as it used to be. Like for me, it's like, you know, I'd like to find a girl to settle down with and shit. Like I don't get like if girls want to fuck, whatever, cool, and like I have fun doing it, but it's like it's not as exciting as it was when I was 18. Like everything was like a new car when you were 18, you know. Like everything was a new toy, like and like and obviously like you're okay at that age with the fact that girls are going to use you to. Make no mistake about it. Just because the dynamics of the optics of sex look a certain way, dude, girls want to bang recklessly, just like guys. Like as they always say, guys do. There's nothing wrong with being out there being promiscuous. But yeah, I've gone through that. Like my first girlfriend I ever had, like. Tons of different occasions after we actually broke up. I used to fucking tap it after that.
Yeah.
It happens. One of the worst recreational ploys you want to get into, you don't want to get yourself into, try to stay away from women that you literally find super sexually attractive, like, and you end up once you start seeing that you're
like crack.
No, yeah, like once, like
Heroin.
for example, I used to see a girl who we were only hanging out with each other because we found each other sexually attractive, and I don't care how she felt about me. It's whatever. Like, you could use me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I found her so sexually attractive that, like, if I was putting up with bullshit from her just to have sex with her.
Use me.
Yeah, it was like, and then it got to the point where she was just so much of an asshole and so terrible to be around, and then she fucking swiped me one night when we were out.
Jeez.
She started a fight with a bunch of people and brought her around the corner and was like, my boyfriend will beat your fucking ass, all these dudes. And first off, she wasn't my fucking girlfriend.
I'd be like, huh?
So I had some of my buddies with me, and the guys come around the corner or whatever, and she's like, Evan, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I go, and right in front of her, I go, first off, I don't know what she did to make you guys mad. I go, but this is not my fucking girlfriend. You should see her face. She turned and looked at me.
Yeah.
I go, this is just some girl I've been seeing. I'm no longer seeing her after tonight. I'm like, so if you want to fight, there's me and my 3 buddies. And there's like, probably there's 2 more of them than us.
Mm-hmm.
They would have got fucked up, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
sure.
the guys that were with me could fucking fight. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so if you guys really, like, want to do something, whatever, I go, but this shit has nothing to do with me. So, like, what's it going to be, whatever. The guy's like, no, I feel you and all stuff. And when she seen the dude was cool about it and didn't want any smoke,
Yeah.
dude, she fucking swiped me, dude. And then I was like, fucking see ya. After that, I was like, I promised myself violence is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But I was putting up with bullshit from this chick because she was just fucking smoking hot and had tight snatch. Mm-hmm. Don't ever let yourself fall into that. Sex is not as important as you guys probably think it is at your age.
No, it's not.
See, you know what's funny? I believe you when you say that because I've seen him interact with women and talk to women, dude. He has done shit that dudes that 20 can't do. Like, there was this one girl he was talking to that he found sexually attractive and all that shit, and she was being an asshole to him, so he just fucking stopped talking to her. You know how many guys can do that? Next to none. Like, most dudes will put up with some shit to get laid. Yeah. He was like, I'm like, so you still talking to that girl? He just turns and goes, nah, dude. He's like, I'm not fucking talking to that chick anymore. I go, why? He goes, because she's a fucking prick.
Yeah.
I go, word? I'm like, good on you, dude. He was 19 at the time. I go, most 19-year-olds can't do that.
Nah, I just don't care.
I don't know. I couldn't do that when I was 19. If you were putting out, I was in there like swimwear. If you look good enough.
No, I don't want you annoying me.
Yeah, dude, he gets so easy. I'm like that too now. The minute a girl does anything that I find like unsatisfactory to how I view relationship shit, I'm gone, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, see you. The minute you do some shit that it's like, okay, this ain't sustainable to like how I want to have a relationship.
Don't got time for that.
Don't have time for that. Bye-bye. Later. In the tides, the tides are changing. Dante and I, we always have these discussions with girls. We piss all our girlfriends off, like girls that we're just friends with, because we'll literally straight up tell them to their face, like, you girls think that we need you around all the time to have a good time and shit, be happy. We don't.
You're going to have a great time all the time, like with your boys.
Word. Play video games, podcasting, going out, doing whatever. Like, we don't need, and like vice versa, you don't need anyone. The biggest key to all this is you have to get yourself comfortable with being fucking alone. Mm-hmm. Friends come and go, family come and go, relationships come and go. That's one of the best decisions I ever made. Well, she'll probably listen to this, but dumping my ex-girlfriend. Then the last, like, probably year, we're coming up on a year since I dumped her. Mm-hmm. Dude, I've just realized that I don't really want anything to do with anyone from an actual relationship standpoint, unless I have a bead on if it's actually something worth pursuing. Like, I don't have a problem hanging out with women and hooking up with them. I can separate those two things without it being an issue. But, like, I'm going to try my hardest not to jump into anything with anyone unless I think it's got some potential from now on. Yeah. But, yeah, I love being single, dude. I don't have to fucking answer no one. I ain't got to be nowhere.
Word.
I can do whatever the fuck. Could you imagine I was still dating Lindsay right now? She'd probably be fucking here on the back going, Evan, we send everyone home, man, and all this stuff. Like, you never do anything with me. Like, I'll just be like, go to bed, woman.
You over here suck my fucking kid.
Like, but yeah, like, so Dante and I are just like, we have so much fun. Like, we're decent. Like, Dante's probably, he's better looking than me. But we're like decent looking guys. Girls get pissed when we say, we don't like. I've never been one to chase. There's only been a few girls where I was literally like, I need to get close to this girl, and I pursued it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I take the tack that most women do. Women make you earn it. I do the same fucking thing. I literally like wait for women to come to me. I put out the vibe. Like, do you ever hear Anton tell his dad's story about I'm just here for the beer?
Yeah.
But like, you just let them come to you, dude. I don't play that shit. Like, everyone's different. You just gotta play it off what happens, man. You just not worry about it. Like, if some fucking broad will come and like just fucking clunk you in the head, you know. You'll just be like you'll be doing your laundry when you're in college or some shit or whatever you do. Like, if you whenever you're on your own. You know, some night you just be doing laundry or some shit, and the next thing you know, some girl strolls in and you fuck her on the dryer. Like, you know, next thing you know, you're married. Like, fucking shit's crazy.
Facts.
But yeah, I was impressed by that when Big Griff was like,
stuff her in the dryer.
later, just like not talking to that girl anymore. Because most guys can't do that. Most people can't do that. People put up with a lot of bullshit from people. It drives me insane.
No.
Just like, later. Bang.
Yeah, you know, I was telling you about that with like quite a few of the friends that I had, and like the one that went to the college with us. Like, I just stopped talking to people. Like, if you're causing me some sort of inconvenience, like if I'm having to put up with some sort of bullshit from you, I don't need to talk to you. Like, it's not worth my time. Like, see ya.
Yeah, dude, it's just
I've got a group of people that I know I don't have to also deal with their bullshit on top of mine, so I keep them around because they can just be a friend, and we're not pawning bullshit off on each other.
Yeah, it's like the scratching each other's back type thing. Like,
Yeah.
life is already hard enough as it is for people.
Yeah.
So the key is to mitigate the bullshit and only keep around people that are caring and like-minded, so you can help each other through the struggles of life. That's why it's so important to have like those connections.
Yep.
In the minute someone starts fucking making it fucking more stressful for me, I'm like, listen, you better fucking get it together. Like, if I really care about someone, I'll be like, I'll correct them, be like, yo, you need to get your shit together with this.
Yeah. Like, yeah, there's a couple people that like
I've had conversations with,
I've had a conversation
but I've had
with because
friends
it's
that
not
are
somebody
friends
that
I've just dumped.
they're typically consistently like a high quality friend, so I'm gonna like just kind of steer them. But yeah, most people like don't just cause me major bullshit. I'll just get rid of you.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had friends like, for example, two of my closest friends growing up, I don't really hang much out with anymore. I have a friend named Josh. Yeah. And if he heard this, he wouldn't care because, you know, I had a friend named Josh who started getting into things that I wasn't into, and I won't go into all of it, but I stopped hanging out with him for a while because he needed to get his shit together. He's going down a path that I didn't want to be a part of. And we're still close friends to this day. Like, we play PlayStation together, we see each other, all this stuff. But I had to take a break from hanging out with him and his friends. And then I got another friend, Nick, who we've been friends since the 6th grade. And we literally don't. We've barely hung out the past like 4 years. And part of the reason why we stopped hanging out was because we have different schedules. But honestly, and you'll probably hear this, I don't really care because we barely talk. But like, a lot of it on my end was he was really negative all the time. And he had stuff going on in his childhood. His dad was a piece of shit and stuff like that.
That's a big pet peeve is negativity.
But like, he was just so negative all the time that like it was like getting exhausting a little bit and stuff like that. And like, we started to develop different interests too. Like, he was into like a lot of other shit, like more material stuff, like playing paintball and all this other shit, and like just into stuff I wasn't into. And we kind of, as we grew older, we kind of grew apart. Like, sometimes people just grow apart. He never did anything bad. I have some friends that have told me he's talked shit about me. I can't substantiate that, but like, it's whatever. I mean, I still love Nick. Like, if I see him tomorrow, we'd pick up where we left off. Like, but we just kind of stopped hanging out.
Yeah, sometimes you're just not the same people. Like, you don't.
That happens in relationships too.
Like, yeah.
That happens in relationships too. I dated Charlene, and we wanted totally different things towards the end of us seeing each other, and then we just mutually broke up.
Yeah, because people are always changing. So, like, yeah, 1 minute, like, everything works out well, and, like, you click, you get along, but, like, people are always just changing. So, like, there's always the possibility that eventually you just grow apart.
Through changes. Yo, this dude's going through changes right now. But yeah, like that's one thing that people don't understand about the breakups. Like, you could have so much terrible bad shit go on in relationships that could fucking tear you apart, dude. But like, people forget that sometimes people just they grow apart. Sometimes people just break up. Sometimes people just need to break up, go their separate ways. And that's better to have that and recognize it than have, dude, I've had girls cheat on me. Like, I dated a girl who cheated on me a bunch of times, and like I was having unprotected sex with her all the time, and like I had to run out and get myself tested. I'm clean, ladies, by the way. Don't worry about it. You can
little Q-tip.
Dude, yo.
Long ass Q-tip.
You want to hear about some girls, dude? When I was 17, I got myself tested. Dude, and I got tested for something specific or whatever, and they put a fucking big old Q-tip up my dick, dude. Yeah, dude, it fucking sucked. It was so uncomfortable. I'm like, I'd rather get the needle any day of the week, dude.
My urethra's never been the same.
Oh, yeah, dude, I fucking piss goes two different directions. That shit was painful. But yeah.
You see which stream hits the bowl first?
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes people just grow apart, man. But that's like I said, like I was saying earlier, that's key. Building good relationships and maintaining good relationships with people. I'm a firm believer. You could be in places that you're not wanting to be. You could have like no cash. You could just be living whatever you think is a normal existence, not where you want to be. But if your family's bonds are healthy, you got good people around you, it really makes up for that.
Yeah.
Kind of like this. I made you guys fucking stay up till what time is it? It's 5 a.m. So what are you guys doing now? We made it to 5 a.m. You guys staying up all day? You guys gonna take a nap? What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't feel too bad right now. Like,
yeah, me either.
After we're done hanging out, like,
I'll probably go home and jerk off.
And I'm just gonna do stuff. Probably
I'll start moving the room.
Take care of my fish tanks.
We got the fight. The fight's starting T-minus 5 hours, boys.
Yep.
So,
fucked it.
if Dustin Poirier wins tonight or wins today, if Dustin Poirier beats Khabib today, then I really won't care whatever happens ever.
I'll give you the flappy quappy.
I will never ask the MMA gods for anything again if Dustin Poirier wins today.
This is like the holy grail for you.
Yeah, Carlos Condit is my other favorite fighter of all time, and he had his chance against GSP. Had a chance. He hurt GSP and almost finished him, but didn't pull it off. Now Dustin Poirier, I've been a fan of Dustin Poirier since he was like in the fucking trailer parks, Louisiana, dude, just fighting in the WEC and shit. Love that motherfucker. And it goes beyond like Dustin Poirier as a fighter. Dustin Poirier is he is the personification of you know how people talk about like role models in sports. Like, I don't think that the fighters, I don't think anyone should have to be a role model for anyone. You don't have to. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they do set examples for kids. In like, as far as fighters go, if there's one dude in MMA that I could point to besides DC, right, and be like, that's who you want to be. That's your role. That's the best example of a good role model. Dustin Poirier is that guy.
Yeah.
He's just this cool combination of like, he's classy, he's humble, he's just a good guy, he's nice to people, right? But he's still got like that swag of confidence and like, you know, he's not scared to mix it up and talk some shit. Like, if you get in his face and try to ruffle his feathers, like, he'll play that game, he'll talk some trash for fun and like try to get in your head and stuff, but he does so much outside of the community. Like, he cares about his family, his wife has been with him since they were teenagers, and like, she quit college and was like, you need to fucking believed in him and shit. Like, she's like, you can go the distance and all this stuff. And look where he is now. Like, they have all kinds of fun foundations where they donate money back to Louisiana and all kinds of shit. Like, he's just a good dude, and he's such a good fighter. Like, it's just, you need more athletes like that. So I'm really going to be rooting for him today. I fucking
just need more people like that in general. Not even just athletes. You just need more people that are
in a sport that's like so scary. Like, I don't know how many fights you guys have been in, but it doesn't matter if it's in a cage or if it's like wherever. Like, fighting is dangerous and it's scary. Like, for me, I'm to the point now where I've had so many punches and shit whizzed at me that like, I'm not scared of fighting, but I respect the implications of what can fucking happen to you in a fight. So in theory, it is for me, I understand that it's still a scary thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I know full well what the fuck choking people and hitting people can do to people. You would think in a sport with fighting it'd be hard. Guys like that would be few and far in between. But like a lot of guys are actually really, really good guys in the MMA world. Like a lot of people think they're just all these brutes that are all fucking scumbag, low lives and shit. But dude, there's not from what it sounds like to me, there's not a lot of actual bad guys in MMA. Not too many.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys. So you took Khabib. We're taking Poirier because we're smart. Big Griff took Khabib.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like...
No, I feel
yeah, realistically, like, if I had to put money on it, Khabib, for sure.
It doesn't matter who you are. It's hard to stop what he brings to the table.
I'd rather see Poirier win, for sure. But, yeah, I would have to put money on Khabib.
Word. Well, we went for what? What does it say over there?
3 hours.
3 hours.
Minutes, yeah.
That's not bad. This might be the longest one we've done. I think I've almost hit the 3 hour mark. I think I've done it once.
Yeah.
It might not. It might be the longest or the second longest for sure. In closing, is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap this shit up?
Not much. Been a long time coming. We finally got the podcast.
Ethan's just like got quiet towards the end. He's like,
got both of us. Fucking A.
Ethan's tired. He's slumped.
What are we naming this one? Fucking.
This one's got to be front butt. This has got to be front butt.
Okay, dude, that's fucking funny, dude. Fucking front butt.
Bitch had a front butt.
Griff, you want to plug anything? Social media, Twitch, anything like that? I know you're gonna plug your Twitch though, so people know about you.
Nah, I think I'm good.
Nothing.
I think I plug nothing.
Don't plug nothing. Plug your Twitch, Heath.
Yeah, this guy's a streamer.
Tell him your Twitch handle.
My Twitch handle is Ethan Hunt 21.
And what are you out there streaming?
I stream that super gay game Fortnite sometimes. And
yeah,
I also
like
to stream 2K19 with my boys.
Yeah, he likes to dabble in some games, man. I got him hooked on The Witcher. He beat shit.
Shit's a good game.
Did you do all the DLC? Get all the DLCs and do that shit?
I did half of the one.
Half of the one.
But I played again the other day, and I'm getting back into it to finish it completely.
It's my favorite game of all time.
It's a great game.
Obviously, you guys know where you could find me. You can find me at The Big Piece on all my platforms, pretty much. Twitter, YouTube.
The Big Piece.
Twitch. Obviously, on YouTube, you could find me on YouTube. Define the podcast at The Big Piece, or you type in Keepin' It G Real Podcast. We also have the Keep It G Real Podcast Facebook page. We are also sponsored by Bronze Images, best tanning on the East Coast. We are also sponsored by UA, one of the best fight teams in upstate New York, Wolfpack for life. We are also sponsored by the Deep State. We are using the Deep State. We are transmitting this podcast.
We are the Deep State.
Officially, unofficially.
And yeah, this has been a great podcast, and we hope that everyone enjoys it. I'll probably upload it at some point soon, hoping to get fucking Nate on here at some point. But I think Andy J and I were supposed to do one where we talked about the football, but we'll probably still do that and talk about what we think is going to happen in the preseason. So hopefully this week when I get to it, I'll probably do a recap. Dustin Poirier win. Until then, we are out. Later.
See ya.